Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, Ireland's only answer to Harry Kane, bringing you a new edition of Frenemies here with Marcelo. Marcelo, how are you keeping, man? Stupid question. Jack, how are you keeping, man?
Look, I'm transferring over, my surname over to Knickich, thankfully, to Shamu, who, has been an absolute legend of the Harris Army. He might not be joining us because, he's a busy guy, playing rock and roll, eating banana pancakes. He's just basically the person we all want to be. But Shamu's an absolute legend. If he's not joining us, got to shout him out first because he's just been an 100%. Absolute legend to me and as well as you, David. But yeah, I'm officially 100%. Taking Knickich now.
Well, look, we will be talking a bit on Fonseca, Gattuso, who's rumoured to be the new Spurs manager. And then if we have time, we will be doing going back to the player ratings. It's been an absolutely crazy day for news. Let's welcome a few people into the building. We have Jordan Stevens. He's Jordan Stevens. He says, "Evening, what a joke of a club we are." 100%, Jordan. I fully agree. D-Trex Kane, he says, "Good afternoon, guys. We are next." I can't say that yet. Next, and David, loved your opinion on Chris's channel. Thank you so much, D-Trex. I appreciate that. The regular, we want Levy out. We want Levy out 100%. Big up Caleb Newsom. We have Steve Westhead in here. He says, I thought we finished 9th. Might need change that if we get Gattuso 100%. Dan Davenport, big yourself up, man. He says, going for hot-headed Gattuso, who once headbutted our ex-assistant manager, Joe Jordan. Never forget Joe Jordan swearing in Italian back at Gattuso, 100%. Big up Tim Maloney. He says, what a mess, Irish Spurs fan in New York, trying to follow all the update. These streams are great. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. And look, you can be the New York ambassador along with Jack and spread the name of the Irish Hotspur around the streets. Philip Brady says Gattuso will headbutt Levy and after 5 minutes. Yeah, 100% he will, Philip. And Philip, I hope you're keeping well. Of course, lads, Philip is on the grey-haired panel with Simon Cohen and Arthur Everett as well. Steve Westhead said Dumfries over Aurier. Yeah, 1,000%, man. I could name better players, but we know, yeah, 100%. Big up Bjorn, the Norwegian Viking. On day 99, we will finally sign our new manager, Ryan Mason. Yeah, 99 problems, but a manager ain't one at the minute. Joe Grimes says, hashtag no to Gattuso, hashtag Enoch out, 100%. Big up yourself, Chris. We have AJ Warwick. He said, David, this is going to be my talk therapy today. I'm absolutely fuming here in Portland, Oregon. Big up all the Portland, Oregon people out there. We're all just as fuming as you. Adam says, just when you think this club can't humiliate us more. Oh, yeah, 1,000%, man. Tommy G, hope you gents are well. If Levy, by the way. Oh, did I say Levy, by the way? Yeah. Amen. 0243 says, I'm fed up about this club 100%. Neil G, even all. Got the popcorn ready. Faro 27. Spurs not getting Gattuso, Levy waiting for Euros to end. Yeah, I actually said that, man. I just said that on Chris Cowan's channel, believe it or not. Tottenham Texan says, just let Son's dad manage the team. Yeah, hand over the reins at this stage.
Big up Tottenham Texan.
Yeah, big yourself up. Talk THFC said we could get 11th next year with Gattuso. It's certainly going to get worse if we get Gattuso. Alex Burton says, what a joke. Good afternoon, 100%. ATM Nerd, only Levy, man, only Levy. Yep. Tim Man 007, I'm fuming, guys. I had enough of this clown Levy. 100%. This is why, I'm so glad I started my channel when I did. I've been trying to tell you about Levy, these players, and people are waking up now, and the fan base is waking up. So that's what we need. David, big yourself up. Yes, been waiting for this. Villa Shuka, big yourself up. Secret Limited, yes, David, big yourself up. Eamon Burns, this club is a fucking shambles, 100%. The Hillian Loach, good to see that us Evertonians aren't the only ones suffering, lad. Yeah, I know. Look, it's a bad day when I seen an Everton tweet a Spurs fan saying, can we just come together and, so we can be one club and everyone can just laugh at us together. And, when Everton are tweeting us that's bad times, man, because, bad Everton are. Tony89, Hal, THFC, hello, guys. Our man, our mate, it's hard being Spurs fan, having vertigo with this managerial mess. Paul Anderson, Ben McGrath, big yourselves up. Jamie Killen, big yourself up. Murray from the football show edition, Derek Hutchinson, all big yourselves up. And look, everybody, make sure you do smash a like on the stream. Make sure you smash and subscribe on the channel. And most importantly, get them super chats in, guys. Really, with your opinions. Usually Frenemies takes off. Chat does be flying. It's hard to keep up. You want us to sit here and discuss your comments and stuff like that. Get your super chats in. I will try and get everybody's chat up. Everybody knows that I know that not everybody is in that sort of position to be able to put in a super chat. I will try and get your comments up just when the chat is going nuts. You know, super chats do take priority. And speaking of a super chat, we have Mark Craven, big yourself up. A £5 super chat, big yourself up, $5. Says, just wait, Daniel Levy will be our next manager. Look, I'm actually at the point, Matt, that to be honest with you, I'd rather him just being a manager right now, you know, so he can take sole responsibility of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he thinks he's playing all these smart little tricks. Oh, I'm going to put Paratici in. I'm going to be the dark shadow. I'm going to be like Enoch. I'm going to be like Joe Lewis, you know, but I'm still going to sign off on everything. But these fools are going to think, oh, it's all on Paratici. You can see it coming from a mile away. You can see through this fucker. But big yourself up for the super chat, man. Really appreciate it. But look, Marcelo, we know where to start. Fonseca, man, what's going on? What happened?
Is it 10 minutes yet?
No, we're 6 minutes.
Hey,
I can keep going with the crowd for another few minutes, so we'll keep going with the crowd for another few minutes.
Then I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble.
Okay, so we'll wait for another few minutes. Talk THSE, Tottenham Hotspur have to plan. No ambition, but have a nice stadium. Tempest Fugit says Levy is panicking and trying to pass the bank. 100%. Eamon Burns, what has Gattuso won and have we went for him? There must be a reason for all this. On Gattuso. Look, Gattuso is a great player in his day, you know, great midfielder. He'd done all the dark arts you could think of. You know, then when he choked out, you know, Joe Jordan, I lost a lot of respect for him. And, you know, I haven't liked him ever since, to be honest with you. And with Gattuso, look, he's managed 2 teams in Italy, lower league teams in the Italian league. I think it only lasted like 3 months at both of them. Then he went on to some team in Greek. He resigned twice from there. Then he was at AC Milan, lasted 18 months. Then he was at Napoli, lasted 18 months. And Fiorentina, the latest one, 22 days. 22 days. You know, this guy, honestly, right, we could sign him tomorrow and he could walk out the day before the first game of the season, right? The day before the first game of the season. You know, purely because he's pissed off. You know, and this, if everyone was worried about this with Conte doing it, this guy is more liable to do it than anybody I know more football. Honestly, he's a raving lunatic. To be honest with you, in a way, I wouldn't actually mind having him as like an assistant manager because at least he can like ragdoll the likes of Dyer, like some Moon Boots, Winks, you know, Mr. Anonymous players like that, and you know maybe actually get them to run about because they're scared of him. But to come in as head coach, I don't understand it. And again, it could be because he's cheap. He's willing to come in. He's probably undercut, you know, Fonseca in the negotiations. It's crazy. Look, Jack, why don't you pop a question off at me, and I'll take up the next 2 minutes before we let Marcelo off the handle.
No, absolutely. And if anybody's new here today to the Irish Hotspur, I absolutely encourage you to absolutely give it a Gattuso headbutt on that subscribe. You know, give it a good old crack to the phone screen, to the tablet, to the phone, to the laptop, whatever it may be. You know, you got to choke it out. You got to give it a good old Gattuso subscribe. So you got to give it a big headbutt there. But yeah, David, you know, Paratici has been put in charge of the managerial hunt. So we've been told, David, but it seems like he originally had Fonseca, right? We were told maybe Fonseca, right, was his number one. David was one he wanted to sign right after we were, you know, disappointed with Conte. That was maybe his number 2. But now we're supposedly already, David, in advanced negotiations with Gattuso. Do you really think that Fonseca was his real number 2, or do you think it might have been Gattuso?
Oh, well, we don't know. You know, apparently both of them were. And just what I want to say to everybody is famous words by Daniel Levy. You know, nothing's ever confirmed till it's confirmed by the club. Daniel Levy only said that a few days ago. So, look, oh, lad, the whole thing is just a fucking shambles, right? We are now 60 days without a manager, right? The problem is, right, is we want to be big boys. We built the stadium to be the big boys. We built the training complex to be the big boys. But you ever see that guy that comes down to football, you know, the nicest shin pads, the nicest socks, shorts, jersey, right? Has his hair done. He looks like a baller. Well, and he can't, but he has 2 left feet. I call them people all the gear, no idea. That's exactly what we are at Tottenham Hotspur right now. We have everything to look like a great club, but we're all the gear with no idea. Once you come inside the buildings, Daniel Levy's sitting there, fucking scratching his head. Honestly, he may as well just put one of them monkeys there in front of him that claps them things. You know what I mean? He's honestly, the guy's lost the running of it. When Paratici came in, and I've said this loud and clear, make no mistake about it, he's going to be the face of the business, right? Daniel Levy's still going to sign off and do everything out there. But he's going to be like Joe Lewis, where he gets none of the flack, he's taking a back step. That was done on purpose by the PR at Tottenham because of the stick and the traction Levy out was getting, right? So that what most big multi-national companies do, all the rich companies, big up David Fisher, channel member. And what they all do is, if there's someone in the fire line, they just move them to a shadow figure. They still collect their wage and everything else, and they bring in the next guy to take the millions. Paratici is what Levy was. That's exactly what he is now. And we must not be fooled by this. And to be honest with you, if it turns out none of this is Paratici, well, the guy hasn't even started in his official role yet. And Levy's already making him look like a fucking dickhead. He's already making him look stupid and incompetent. Honestly, if I was Paratici right now, I'd be questioning, I'd be sitting there thinking, ooh, I don't know about this, because, look, people were telling me, Paratici, he doesn't want to ruin his reputation. These guys, look, they're all involved in the same business, right? All the owners know what these guys are. These guys are people, you pay them to take the flag, you pay them like Daniel Levy, and then when the hot seat gets too hot, you move him aside, bring in the next man. These guys will always get a job in the football and circles because they're paid to do it. These guys are paid to be the face. They'll always get a job in the football and circles. Paratici has no reputation, doesn't have a reputation protects because he'll just leave Tottenham and go on to the next job. But the problem is, it doesn't look good from the outside looking in. If you want someone who genuinely wants to come in and make a statement and genuinely who cares, they're all going to be looking from the outside in and be like, the sporting director, he's not even announced he's being made look like a prick. Every week it's a new manager. The fans are sitting there putting out content, this, that, and the other. They're coming around to the idea, and then boom, they wake up the next morning, it's somebody else. It's a shambles from top to bottom. And I believe it's over money. They're trying to say, Gattuso turned their head. Bullshit, right? It's over money. Basically, the argument came down to is the taxes, whether it's the taxes being paid in Italy or the UK. Now, argue there could be some logistics to it with the Brexit and shit like that. But who cares? I just at the point where Daniel Levy just needs to put his money where his mouth is. Don't come out with an interview to tell us why we can't do things, why we can't buy players, why he can't put money in, why we're not successful on the pitch. All of it was why not? None of it was we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Let's have a can-do attitude. We know the position in, we have to get out of it. All of it is, we know the position in, but we can't do this, we can't do that. Honestly, it felt like I was watching Prison Break. The guy just being brought into prison with handcuffs behind his back. Because this is what it seems like with him. As soon as the journalist asked him, where's the money going to come from players? Straight away, financial fair play. City broke it. PSG broke it. There was no repercussions. Why can't Tottenham break it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a whole ruse. It's a whole load of shit. That was just an excuse. That was basically saying, well, it's not coming from Joe Lewis. It's not coming from Daddy Lewis. That was it. And just back to it, the problem is Daniel Levy and Enik now need to realise, and it's not just Daniel Levy, it's Daniel Levy and Enik, right? They now need to realise football has changed. Football has changed completely, right? When they came in, they'd done a great job. Their business model was successful, bringing in young players, identifying them, selling them on for profit, right? It was successful. But what happened is when we got to the Champions League final and that with Poch, right, we reached a level where fans were expecting top 4 every year. There was no doubt. And we became expecting, okay, let's push on now. We're here with the big boys. This is where we wanted to be. This is what the business plan and all was for. We're here with the big boys. Let's push on. We haven't done it. And it literally wouldn't surprise me really wouldn't surprise me, right, if Daniel Levy was like, nah, fuck it, let's, because we don't want to get back to having a manager where we can expect top 4 every season again, because, the expectations of the fans. So let's just teeter around here for a few years. We know we're safe with our money. It's all tied up in building. Perfect. Let's teeter around here for a few years so that we can lower the expectations of fans again. What he needs to realize is when you're sitting with the big boys at the big boy table with your big boy pants on, all these people, right, they spend the extra. They all want to outdo each other. Mm-hmm. Daniel Levy, no. They're all sitting there. Oh, yeah. So imagine him going there with City, with United, with Abramovich.
Splitting a bill with
table,
Levy.
Right? And Abramovich goes, oh, yeah, I just signed Haaland and Hakimi. The United, the owner of the Glazers go, oh, well, I just signed Sancho. And the City owner just goes, oh, yeah, well, I just bought Harry Kane. What did you do, Daniel Levy? I saved 100 million. You know what I mean? And they're all sitting there looking at him like, So you want to hang with the big boys. Big boys are known to be winners. That's why we're here, because we're successful in our businesses. We made all the money we've made to get here. That's why we're successful, because we're winners, right? Daniel Levy's not. Daniel Levy's not. That's the problem. They're all sitting there looking at him like, you loser. When are you going to realize you have to put that money in order, like the world, it's not just football, the whole world has changed. Everything's about money nowadays, and he needs to wake up. I've heard fans, I was even like that before. I don't want to be like Chelsea. I don't want to buy the league. But the thing is, that was at the time when I believed in the dream. We can be self-sustainable. We can do it different. We can be that anomaly. We can be the club that everyone looks at to be inspired. Everyone, that's the model of football going forward.
Yeah.
But we've left that behind. And I'm at the point now where, fuck it, get me in an oil owner. I sit here with little oil prices running along the bottom of my screen. You know what I mean? No problem. I don't care. Just get me in one. I just want trophies. And Daniel Levy needs to wake up and realise the only way of getting trophies and really competing with these big boys is money. Money on a manager, money on players. You know what I mean? He has to wake up. He has to realise. And look, the Leicester tournament's different because although he does actually throw money at it, he does spend money, but spent in the right areas. But the reason why he does it is because he wants to continue on his dad's legacy. Yeah. He wants to continue on his dad's legacy, and that's why he's doing it. You know what I mean? And he has that motivation, that goal behind him. Levy and Enoch have lost that somewhere along the way. They really have. And this is why we're seeing
Fonseca. They never had it. They never had it. They never had it. From day one, these fuckers never had it. David, I've been listening just a round of applause to that. And you know what? Honestly, round of applause for Daniel Levy. Round of fucking applause. Because you did it again. He did it again, David. Just when I thought this guy could not sink any fucking lower, man. I was like, yep, Fonseca, done deal. You know what I mean? It's the you look at it and it's just like, it's the perfect type of manager, Levy loves. Cheap, he plays attacking football, he's progressive, right? He's willing to play with youngsters. Like, now, dude, I don't even know who this guy is anymore. He just does a 360. I thought Fonseca was a sure deal. And it somehow, this fucker surprised me again. Honestly, I think honestly, I don't even know who Daniel. It's like you said, Jack. I don't know who Daniel Levy is. I think he's just a sadistic fuck. I don't know. I just think he gets a kick. Honestly, he's probably watching this right now, and he's jerking off, and he's jerking off with fucking Joe Lewis watching this right now. Honestly, I think he just loves seeing Tottenham fans fucking hurt and in pain. I don't think he's even the money anymore. Because Fonseca is cheaper than Gattuso. Gattuso's a big name. You got to remember, he's a guy with he might not have the success that Fonseca has, but he has a name. When I heard of Fonseca, I had to search who the fuck he was, bro. You know what I mean? Like, Gattuso is a name. Like, and this fucker just, for some reason, like, unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. This guy does it every fucking time. Honestly, he would cut his grandmother's foot.
That's why he spent so long speaking to Harry Potter, Marcelo, so he could learn the magic.
David, he would cut his grandmother's foot instead of giving her surgery just to save a couple of quid. He honestly would. He honestly would.
He would. Yeah.
This guy is unfucking believable, bro. Unbelievable. I went to work, right? I went to work and I listened to this news and I just laughed. I'm just like we are a joke, bro.
Yeah.
This club is Clown FC, bro. Get the red noses, get the face masks because we are clowns, right? We are clowns for supporting
Let's join the Warrior squad.
Yep, let's join the Warrior squad. We're a bigger clown than Bobo the Clown himself, bro. You know, like, honestly, David, you might as well just change the layout of this show. Just put a fucking clown car. You know, don't put the stadium.
I'd Bagsy being Ronald McDonald.
Yeah, listen, David, instead of putting that stadium, you know what Levy should have built? Should have built a fucking circus. Because that's what he's fucking running, bro. Should have built a fucking circus. Instead of buying players, you should have bought fucking clown cars and about clowns and, you know, some fucking, you know, lions so they can do some tricks. Because this is what it is. This football club is a fucking circus. It's a joke. This fucking shit is a joke. We can't even fucking get Fonseca in. We can't even bring in Fonseca, bro. You know what I mean? I don't even know who the fuck Fonseca was a couple weeks ago. You know what I mean,
the
bro?
thing is, we literally have no dignity left after that, Marcelo, because people everyone had to Google Fonseca, right? Everyone had to Google him. And now we have no dignity left. It's like you couldn't even get a manager you had to Google.
Yeah, bro. You know, I mean, like, honestly, honestly, David, I'm not even surprised. I don't even think Gattuso's going to go through. Because, honestly, Daniel Levy's going to find someone on Craigslist for fucking £5, and he's going to be the next fucking manager, man. Dude, honestly, fucking believable.
I pride myself on my luscious hair, head of black hair, but that'll be bald by the time the season starts, right? This is how things quick can change, and then I do have a few super chats, I will get to them. This is how things quick can change, right? So Marcelo, I sat there, glorious day, right? Tweeted, look, you know, I love Tottenham. You know, tasty fixtures to start off the season. Can't wait for the new season. The Euros is great and all, but I cannot wait for the new season.
I can't wait for Tottenham to
take over 9 months of my life, right? I go and get my shower. I have a shave. I come out. I look in the mirror. I'm like, how you doing? You know, looking good, right? And then all of a sudden, my phone is just buzzing, going nuts. And I look at it. I'm like, surely not. Surely not. And the unthinkable happened. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. But look, we have a couple of super chats to get to, and then we're going to let Jack fire out the questions to us, so that me and Marcelo can debate them. Brad Matthews.
Big up Tony Hall, David Fisher, Neil G, new channel members here, David at the Irish Hotspur, new Flat Cap Army members. So welcome to the Harris Army. Let us know in the comments. Let us know with a super chat if you're willing, if you're generous enough. But just, good to see you in the comments, and we can't wait to see you on the fan show coming up soon at some point. Just let us know about this whole fiasco. Yeah,
I'm going to do a fan show Saturday because everyone needs to vent. But look, we have 200 people watching right now. Make sure you do smash a like on the stream, subscribe on the channel, and get them super chats in. We're going to fly through them here now. Brad Matthews, our club is no longer a joke. It's an absolute disgrace. Levy might as well make himself head coach. I was actually looking forward to Fonseca Spurs. Yeah, honestly, this is what I'm saying. Put Levy in the dugout now at this point because, you know, what worse can he do? Is like, in fact, he might have to go because there's no one in world football right now that wants to come in. He might be able to ring up me and say, Dave, go and get me a League of Ireland manager or something. But I won't do it because, you know, just purely because it's not right for Tottenham. He's just honestly.
Only way to convince the Levy inners, David. The only way to convince the Levy inners is just put Levy in the dugout at this point. You know.
Oh no! Look, we don't even have to convince them. Being on Chris's channel, there was a lad on there, and he was saying, you know, that he really liked Levy. He was a fan of Levy, and even now, you know, he's saying you can't defend him anymore. I'm done defending him, you know, and that he understands everything. Dermot Myers, this is a complete joke. When is enough getting to be enough? We have no manager, not bought anyone. When Enoch bought us, they're only seeing money. We saw we're now a joke. Yeah, 100%. Look, you know, it's Tottenham Hotspur property development, not Tottenham Hotspur Football Club anymore. It's property development because this is what we are, and this is what I've been saying to everybody. I don't care. I don't want to hear any more excuses about money, about losses, this, that, and the other bullshit. Right? We're for a football club first and foremost, and the only way out of this is fucking money. Big yourself up, Dermot Miles. I hope you're keeping well, my man. Hope it's all good.
Well, Dermot.
We have Ron Cooley. He says, Levy's ego has taken over the club, and after the Amazon documentary, he truly believes he is Mr. Tottenham. He's an accountant.
He's not close to Mr. fucking Tottenham. He can get the fuck out of this club. That fucking prick. You know,
honestly, Marcelo, I heard he's driving around Tottenham in a convertible with shades thinking he's Vin Diesel after the documentary.
He has the audacity to say that he has ambition with this fucking club, and he gets a guy that has literally resigned and has been sacked by every fucking club. David, I've told you this many times. I will support anybody that comes to Tottenham. I will even support Eddie Howe. I will even support Graham Potter. I would even support Fonseca, despite me not wanting them, right? Not wanting them in the club. I cannot back this. This is to a point, right? This appointment is so fucking horrendously shit. It's so fucking bad. It's so fucking absurd that even I cannot back this fucking manager. The first day this guy gets appointed, if he does, right? Because we don't know. Next week it could be fucking me. Next week it could be you. Next week it could be fucking Harry Potter. Next week it could be, this guy from fucking Craigslist. Anybody could be manager, right? If this guy... But if Gattuso actually gets appointed by manager, I will be Gattuso out from day fucking one. I do not give a shit. I have an agenda against this guy. I do not like him. I do not like his comments. I do not like his personality. I think he's not a good person, and what he did to Joe Jordan was disgraceful. I will never forgive him for that. And you know what? This guy, the first day he steps in, I will be Gattuso out. I do not give a fuck. I do not care. This is the worst fucking appointment. Honestly, this is 2 levels down from appointing So Campbell. And you know what? I wouldn't even be surprised. I would not even be surprised if we get linked to him next week. I would not be surprised. This will be such a Levy fucking signing because he's a sadistic fuck. He's probably looking right now. He's like, ooh, they hate Gattuso. So I'm probably, you know what I must do? You know what that must mean, mate? That must mean that must get So Campbell. And he's like shaking his hand, and he's getting ready to just fucking get him appointed because he's a sadistic fuck. He probably has whips and chains in his fucking background, in his house. I wouldn't be surprised. What an absolute.
Oh no, he's kinky.
Every Friday night he goes to a dominatrix to get spanked, lad. Just because he can get a bit of pleasure in life. Honestly, he's an absolute joke. He is a joke. Look, 263 people watching right now. Chat is flying. I'm struggling to keep up. Get those super chats in, guys, with your thoughts and opinions on everything that's going on right now. But look, let's get Jack. Jack, start with these questions. Fire the first one to Marcelo, man.
Yeah, absolutely, Marcelo. I mean, I think you just gotta look at this. Obviously, the Levy, the devil, the Voldemort. Everything all above us, behind practically everything. But Marcelo, maybe just think about this here. How much of this fiasco, we've been linked with practically only Serie A and Italian managers. How much of this fiasco, though, do you think with Fonseca not signing, do you put down to Paratici, and how much do you probably put down to Levy? Do you maybe think that maybe Paratici might have actually really wanted Gattuso the whole time?
No. Honestly, because every fucking time, right, Jack, we have been linked with the manager. What's the first thing he said? Oh, this was Paratici's first choice. This was Paratici's main guy. This was Paratici. How many main guys did this fucking guy have, bro? You know what I mean? This guy is looking like bigger than a fucking, Tesco fucking shopping list, bro. You know what I mean? The main guy, what the fuck is this? No. This is Daniel Levy bullshit all over again. It's the same thing with Mourinho. Oh, this was Mourinho's first choice. Don't worry, guys. He wanted Gareth Bale. And David and we said, no, he wants a center back. He wants a fucking center back. It's clear as day. You can watch the media. He wanted a center back, right? Dude, honestly, it's Levy 101. I feel bad for Perisic because, honestly, I do not care what the media says. I'm 100% penning this on Daniel Levy. Unless we get a confirmation that it's 100%, unless Perisic comes out and he says, yep, this is who I wanted, this is 100% my choice, right? That's when I will say, all right, Perisic, you can head home, you can pack your bags, go back to Italy, go eat your pizza, go drink your wine, go have fun, buddy, because you know what, London in for you, baby, London in for you. This is honestly, what is going on with this football club? What is going on with this football club? Tell me. We go out and say that we want our DNA back, right? And first I was like, DNA, this is bullshit. You know, David and I, we even said DNA, this is bullshit, right? But whatever, right? So we signed Fonseca. And, you know, slowly David and I were like, you know, whatever, at least we're going to be getting some good football. You know, at least we're going to get some progressive manager that he's going to look to, you know, maybe he can do something. Maybe he can fucking do something, right? But then you might as well just shit all over you've been saying this whole summer by signing Gattuso, because that guy plays the most fucking Brexit football you could ever see in your life. He's going to make Harry Kane look like fucking Hugo Lloris on goal. You know what I mean? This guy plays more defensive than fucking Jose Mourinho. And you're talking about DNA, bro. You know what I mean? We're going to be playing terrorist football 101, bro. You might as well sign Osama bin Laden, bro, if he's still alive out there. You know what I mean? We're going to be playing some, like, bro, we're going to be playing some real terrorist football under Gattuso, man. It's going to be fucking dirty, bro. You know what I mean? So we're not even going to get good football. You know, they've been saying this whole entire summer. What is going on with this football club? Which direction are we going? Are we going with the good football and the DNA, or are we going to go for trophies? I don't know. I honestly, I don't fucking know.
The whole DNA thing is a load of bollocks anyway, to be honest with you. It's a load of bollocks.
David, I got a quote here from The Guardian, you know, on the recent developments, and it's according to The Guardian, sources close to Fonseca said the deal collapsed because of the issues relating to the tax that became apparent to Fonseca in the past 48 hours, David. The Italian law provided him with certain tax breaks that don't certainly apply in the UK, and so he wanted this pay to be adjusted accordingly. Basically, he wanted to be paid practically the same amount that he was paid at Roma. Tottenham supposedly are not interested in changing that financial agreement between the two. Did they really, Dave, my question is to you, not only, I mean, we can obviously talk about the cheapness and the disgusting nature, but do you really think that they actually then, maybe based off this information, do you think they even had any faith in the manager at all, considering this? If they're not willing to, you know, just pay him what he was originally paid at Roma, it's already practically $2.5 million, whatever, it might even be $3 million maybe after this tax thing. Do you now maybe think they probably didn't even have any faith in him at all? What do you think?
Oh, look, to be honest with you, the contract that Tottenham offered was heavily in Tottenham's favour. It was cheap, it was cheerful, and it was only for 2 years, and it was up to them if they wanted to extend it, if it was going the right way. It was heavily in Tottenham's favour, right? Now, pounds is cheaper than euros, right? You get a lot less in pounds than what you do euros. And with the whole Brexit thing going on, you know, he's not getting them tax breaks. And look, it's down to money again, and this is the problem. It's always down to money. Conte, down to money, down to paying 3 extra training staff. You know, and this is, to be honest, this is why the deal didn't sit easy with me anyway, because, you know, Conte says, I'm going to come in, I'm going to bring the 7 backroom staff with me, and this is the way we're moving forward. This guy was willing to come in and just work with what's at Tottenham. Now, with what's at Tottenham hasn't worked. We've seen that this season. It's not working. You know, and again, you know, we're constantly arguing over money, And this is the problem. Now, when we go for players, clubs are slapping an extra 10, 15, 20 million onto their players, because they know how tight Daniel Levy is. So they're realistic. The reason why they're doing that, it's like you a car. You know what I mean? You want 3,000, you put it up for 5,000, and eventually you'll get the 3,000. But you set your figure, but you never put it up for that figure. And that's what clubs are going to do to Daniel Levy now, because they know how tight the fucker is. But not only that, you know, over the course of this managerial hunt, right? So basically what we've been told is no manager's allowed to come in with their own backroom staff. Okay? And Tottenham will definitely not pay you the wages that you want. What top manager are we going to get in now? You know, when we go to buy players, what players are we going to be able to afford? Because we're already 4, 5, 6 weeks behind the market. You know, everyone's already moving, getting their bids, doing the negotiations. And this is why this manager should have been appointed at least at the end of the season, well, if not before then. Because, you know, it's all a knock-on effect. So now we're going to be like what we always are, fucking paddy last in the market, and we're going to pick up the shit players. The players that we like, you know, and this is the reason why we are where we are now with a lot of these players, because Tottenham are notorious for leaving a lot of their business the last minute. Notorious for it. And that's why we're always getting, you know, the mediocre players, not the good players in. And again, the money is the same. The Celso. We could have Bruno Fernandes. Now, imagine we had Bruno Fernandes this season. We might have actually scraped Champions League, you know. You know, if He loaned in Vinicius because it was cheaper instead of playing what for 13 million for Troy Deeney. Now, the thing is, Troy Deeney has Premier League experience. You know you're going to get goals with him. You bring him in. But we'd rather take a gamble. Now, we wanted to fill the midfield spots. We loaned in Jedson Fernandez. The guy's too left fucking feet.
He took up wages, David. He just took up wages. He just sat there, took up wages. Practically, he probably didn't even exist. I actually don't believe Jedson Fernandez exists.
That's the point. It's cheaper than paying 30, 40 million for somebody. And this is the problem. But I don't even trust them to buy players anymore because look at the shit we're stuck with, man. Look at it. I don't even trust them to buy players anymore. And this is how bad Tottenham has got. Any players looking from the outside in are like, well, if our career's on the decline, Tottenham will still pay us a half-decent wage, so we'll go there because, we don't have to perform. It doesn't matter. We don't have to perform. And then what manager you're going to get in to manage these? You're not going to get in a manager that's going to take Tottenham forward. That's for sure, especially when you're paying. Look, it's like going into JD, right? Buying a top in JD Sports, right? And saying, right, it's £80, but realistically, I only want to pay £50. They'll just look at you and say, well, you can't afford it, put it back and score. You know what I mean? Like, Daniel Levy needs to roll with the times. There's a price on things, you fucking pay it. And you roll that dice. You roll that dice and you take the risks. At least, if anything, fans would praise you for taking the risk. They would praise you for taking the risk. They would praise you for it. This guy is just, he's lost complete running of the club. He's outdated. He's past it, and he's not rolling with how football has changed over the years. And his business model is failing him now. We don't even bring in players anymore and train them up and sell them on. His business model is failing him. For me, he's done out here. He's done. If you can't get somebody in like Fonseca, and that leaves the whole of Europe laughing at you.
I think Theirishyid is going to be looking for pool boys, more or less players, Dave. He's going to be looking for pool boys, good rock climbers for, the new Levy land, people that can attend to all the rides, well, maybe Sissoko, maybe, Sissoko, might be, pretty good at handling some of the rides. Maybe he fancies rock climbing in his spare time, to be a rock climbing instructor. It's practically, I think that's what it all is, just finding, good employees for Levy land.
Yeah, you'll be able to bungee jump from the top of the hotel into your seat in the ground next. He's such a dickhead. There's Skriniar. Oh, no, we don't want Skriniar. What we want to do is be able to get a bungee jump from your penthouse suite in the hotel straight to your seat in the ground. He's like, it'd be turned into Winter Wonderland down there over the Christmas. It's going to be a joke. It's Tottenham tourist attractions, Tottenham Adventure Centre, never Tottenham Football Club. And I've just had enough. I've genuinely had enough, right? It's getting to the point where I'm going to have to start going and getting blood pressure tablets. I'm going to have a fucking heart attack because, every day you wake up, it's just bad news after bad news after bad news. And then you're ranting and you're venting, and it's not good for the health. It's really not. And but the thing is, he enjoys it. He's pissing all over our support, man. He's pissing all over it. He knows, regardless of what crap is on that pitch, he's going to sell that stadium week in, week out. He's going to be able to charge people £20 for a burger, chips, and a pint. He can, he's still going to sell stuff in the club shop. He knows no matter how bad it is on the pitch, we're loyal. We're the most delusional fan base in the league, and we're loyal. And he knows it, and that's why he wanks off all over it. He fucks me off. We need to get him gone. I'm sick of it. I was willing to park everything, just ride it out. Let's get a manager in. Let's roll with this season. Let's just see what we can do. Maybe last season was a once-off, but it's not. It's not getting any better when you can't get Fonseca in. It's just alarm bells have to be ringing. They should have been ringing after his interview last week. They have to be ringing now. They have to be. But look, let's take this super chat from Russian Bear. Look, everybody else, make sure you feel free to get your super chats in with your opinions. The chat is hopping, and I'm just ranting, so I'm not getting through all the messages. Sorry about that, guys. Russian Bear says, has Levy forgot that Gattuso headbutted Joe Jordan? Because I haven't. Still pisses me off to this day. Honestly, I don't think Daniel Levy thinks things through anymore. I think he just sees the next name. I genuinely think he's waiting to get Roberto Martinez in. It was the first name mentioned. He's done with Belgium after the Euros. I genuinely believe it's just all going to be smoke and mirrors until he comes in. That's Daniel Levy's bigger plan. And like he said, with a little prick of a smile on his face, we'll never believe anything until Tottenham announced it. You know, but it didn't bother him when Conte and Pochettino were being linked when these season ticket renewals are up for. But when he wants, it bothers him. He's such honestly. Where do we go, man? Where do we go? How can I go from today being so excited, revved up and pumped up for the start of the season? 3 London derbies, Man City. You have Wolves, who we all hype to as well. You know, you have Danny Rose's return to Tottenham. All within 6 games. Pumped up, ready. And now it's looking like we're going to have fucking some League 2 manager from Accrington Stanley.
Yeah, I mean, David, I honestly, at this point, I actually really believe what Marcelo was saying, and I'll go to Marcelo this, because I actually think he really just actually gets a gag out of this. Like, he actually just gets, like, a sick hard-on or something from all of this. Like, he's a real sicko from this. Because
it doesn't make sense.
We know, but Marcelo, we literally made a video last night on Fonseca. I had to play the role of a Fonseca sexual last night. I had to play the role of Fonseca sexual. You know, try to convince everyone. You know, Fonseca might be actually a good thing. He's not as bad as what people think. Of course, you had to look him up on Google, but you know, this is what we can take from the guy. And then it's like the next following day. This is what happens, Marcel. This is what happens. I honestly think he just gets a gag out of all this. It's like he really just wants us all just to literally just almost sit in shame, just take off our jerseys and just sit in shame and just pay whatever it is that, you know, it is that in order to watch our football team at this point. Like, he really is trying to, you know, almost rinse us out like a towel. What do you think, Marcel?
Look, honestly, you said it perfectly. He just enjoys it. There is no sense in getting Gattuso. There is no logical sense. Because we won't be playing pretty football, right? So we won't be playing attractive football in the Gattuso. We'll be playing, you know, Brexit terrorist football all day. He's not a progressive manager. He's not a manager that you really can trust to build a project. At least, like, I was looking to Fonseca, and he's actually done some things. You know, with Porto, he's won some trophies. You know, he's actually done some pretty good things where it's like, you know, maybe if he had, you know, with a little bit more experience, with a bigger club, you know, maybe he just needs to take that next step. Like with Pochettino, you know, you look back, he did a good job in Espanyol, he did a good job in Southampton. You know, he had his faults, but he had like promise, and you know, maybe he was just, you know, maybe it was just that next step that, you know, will get him through. So like with Fonseca, I was actually looking at, you know, we got a DOF, we got a progressive manager. I don't think we're gonna win trophies, but let's hope we get some, you know, some young players in. Let's hope we can actually start playing some real football. You know, at least enjoy the football. At least enjoy the fucking football. You know, like at the end of the day, I know we're all starving for trophies, but for fuck's sakes, you know, if we're gonna be shit, let's at least play some football. But guess what? No, we can't even enjoy the football. This guy can't even give us the football.
No, you're not allowed to, Marcelo.
We're not allowed to enjoy football.
Marcelo, it's not only the manager that needs to give us the football, it's the rotation of players. We need to be able to get in players, and that all starts with getting in the manager. We need to be able to get in the players to start playing football.
Yeah.
Like, we're not, like we're so focused. It's, in a way, this is actually working in Levy's favour. Think about this, because we're all so focused on management, right? No one's talking about transfers. Right, and that suits Daniel Levy. Make no mistake about this. That suits Daniel Levy. The longer the window goes on without him having to put a penny in his pocket, and then we'll all wake up, we'll get a manager 3 weeks before the season starts, then we'll all start talking about transfers.
But David,
then it's going to be like, oh, we didn't have time because it took so long to get a manager in. It's working in Levy's favour.
But David, no, but it doesn't. Because guess what? If you get Gattuso, this is a guy that will literally walk away. He'll literally resign. In 22 days. No.
That'll suit Levy. That'll suit Levy because we'll have a manager for 22 days and then we'll sack him and we'll be on the manager boat again. So it's more excuses not to buy players.
And here we go. And here we go. You know, we went from the gutter with Gattuso. Let's go to the shit now. You know what I mean? Ralph Hasenhuttl. Yes. Get him, man. Let's lose 9-0. Honestly, I'd rather lose 9-0 than get Gattuso in this fucking team. You know what I mean? Let's just go from the gutter to the shit. You know, this football club is absolutely so broken.
I feel like with Fonseca and Gattuso at this point, I mean, I think we'd be dreaming to even have Hasenhuttl at this point. If we're going from Fonseca to Gattuso, I would rather Fonseca as well, but I would rather have Hasenhuttl than Gattuso. And it's like it seems like we're only going after Serie A managers as well. You know, Italian managers. You know, practically, you know, might as well just bring in like, you know, I don't know, like just some Italian. It might as well bring Da Vinci back from the dead as well. You know, because it just really seems like we're almost past even Hasenhüttl at this point. Like, it's almost too late to even sign Hasenhüttl. We have to sign somebody that's just on the street, looking for a job, who's practically free, like the Martinez's of the world, like the Southgates, and it's coming home. So maybe it might be Southgate at this point. I'm not even kidding. It's just somebody who literally is just looking for a job at this point.
Yeah, we'll all have a jolly good up. Southgate, you're the one. Oh, honestly, it'd be so embarrassing. We would be real Spurs if we got Southgate. Trust me,
David,
would be so Spursy.
David, let me tell you something. I was looking on Twitter trying to figure out a reason, right, as to why we would possibly sign Gattuso. Then I saw this, and immediately it all clicked. If you can share this. If you can share this is the reason why we are signing Gattuso for the TV, for the new Amazon, TV show. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Tottenham Hotspur. This is a new Tottenham Hotspur. This is why we have signed Gattuso. I can't wait.
It's facts. No, it's facts. Honestly, that's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. Like, we are a shambles, man. We are a mess. Look, we've 2 super chats to get to there.
From Chris Peters. Yeah, let me get it up. I can pull it up, David, for you. Chris Peters here. Chris Peters here. He says, why has no one mentioned Ralph Hasenhüttl from Southampton as manager? He's done a great job. I mean, to be honest, like I said, Ralph Hasenhüttl, he would pretty much have been on the bottom of my list from the beginning, but I don't even know if we can sign Dora the Explorer at this point. She might honestly, she might think the taxes, coming back from the US, might be too much to go to the UK. She might think, she needs good players, she needs good maps, to figure out where the scouts are going. And as well, we might not even be able to sign Pinocchio at this point.
I'll be honest with you, right? What's wrong with having me as manager, Marcelo as the assistant, the bulldog, and Jack having you there to oversee all the analytics and everything else? I would literally take that at this point, and the Harris Army would have so much faith in it. All 321 people watching right now would have faith in that.
Yeah.
We're a disaster, man. We're a disaster.
At this point, it would be better.
Just on Hasenhüttl, honestly, the guy gets slapped 9-0 2 seasons in a row, and his teams, they start off bad, they go through a good spell, and they end bad. And for me, I don't think he's the man. I don't think he's the man. Just a bit of praise here for myself, which is nice to see.
15th, lad.
No, David, you and Marcelo were spitting bars on the Spurs, but it really is just absolutely shocking at this point. I don't even know what's real at this point. I can pull up. I think it's Dermot Moyles, another super chat yet again from Dermot. Yeah, good to see Aglaya. Good to see Ellie in the building as well. The queen of the Spurs. She's going to have to defend us at this point, David, because I don't know what we have left. But Dermot, big yourself up for another super chat. I hope you're doing well, Dermot. It's another dark day as a Spurs fan, but I hope you're doing well at the end of the day. He says, we all want to sugar out. Look what we ended up with. This reminds me of the 80s and 90s. I think we broke as a club. # Harris Army all the way. Look, I mean, David, Dermot, he's just a legend at this. He's a legend at this channel. And to be honest, some people, we've asked some people who've kind of lived through the 80s and the 90s, even the 70s, and like Arthur, like plenty of others, like Jason Groves, like Simon, they all are saying that this is the worst it's ever been. And I can't honestly attest to that, but that's just absolutely shocking. You're talking about 4 different decades. You're talking about 4 different decades of the club's history, and they're saying this is the worst moment.
Honestly, I'll be honest with you, right? Okay, you have more people in the stadium. You have a better training ground. You have more exposure on Sky Sports News and everything else. What's the difference? There's no difference. There's no difference. All it is we have a bigger stadium. That's it. There's no difference. We would this is how much we've regressed, and this is what I've been telling people. If we keep making excuses for Levy, making excuses for these players, this is going to happen. I used to say we sacked Jose Mourinho, we're getting in Eddie Howe. I used to say Eddie Howe was a joke. It's now looking realistic. It's now looking realistic.
I want Eddie Howe now. I want Eddie Howe. Are you fucking kidding me? After Gattuso, I would fucking bleed for Eddie Howe right now.
I know, but I used to say it as a joke.
Right, but we're further from the joke. We're a fucking clown car. You know what I mean, bro? We're the whole circus. We run the whole fucking thing. Daniel Levy is the fucking head, clown chairman, man. I would take, honestly, it's gotten to a point where if they say, you know what, Gattuso negotiation fell off, now it's Scott Parker, I would honestly just say, oh, thank God. It's gotten to that point where I'll be like, oh, thank you, Jesus, right? Scotty Parker, right, would look like a fucking savior, would look like fucking Jesus coming in and saving his disciple at this point. You know what I mean, man? It has gone that fucking
I
bad.
might get on my knees for Scotty at this point. I might get on my knees for Scotty at this point, Marcel. I'm not even kidding. I mean, I would never say that about the Harry Potter. I would never say that about Harry Potter. But at this point with Harry Potter, you know, I might start looking up a bit of Book of Spells, might start, you know, being a bit, you know, might start drinking the mead, you know, but because really, you know, at this point, I would absolutely get on my knees for Scotty. You're absolutely right.
Like,
I can pop in another question, David, but did we get another? Yeah, David, let me pop in another question here. I mean, at this point, guys, you know, I will say, what makes Gattuso better than Fonseca for Levy and Paratici? Maybe put yourself in the brain of an alien, put yourself in the brain of a deluded person. Maybe what do you think to them makes Gattuso better than Fonseca? Or maybe even, I think I've heard you right the whole time here, Marcelo. I think I've heard you right the whole time, but maybe you might think that Gattuso is better than Fonseca. I know you've already said it verbatim that he's not, but what, he's not. In the brain of Levy, what do you think he is thinking about Gattuso that's better than Fonseca?
Oh, you know what? Oh, you want to know what Daniel Levy's brain is? It's probably like, he's probably thinking, he's like that. It's like, oh, mate, how can I piss off the Tottenham fans today? And then he just does it. You know what I mean?
Because he saw that we came around to Fonseca. He saw that we came around. He probably got a little disappointed. You know, the hard on, you know, went away for him. You know, he was actually realizing, you know, oh, my God, these guys can actually still, you know, take this. You know, I thought I already tortured them enough with Fonseca. Turns out they can still eat this up and, you know, turned it into gold. And now he's just like, no, I have to put them down even further.
Jack, as soon as David, I'm telling you, he watches the show. Daniel Levy, you're out there. You are a bald-headed piece of shit. You are a dickhead. Not only do you look like a dick, but you are a dickhead, a quite literal dickhead. You are a walking ball sack. Fuck you. But he watches the show. I'm telling you, man. He probably heard that. Because as soon as David and I got around Fonseca, he's like, no. This is too good. And then he had to fucking cancel it, man. I'm telling you, this guy, he is he is a sadist fuck. He loves torturing this fucking fans. He loves torturing the fan base.
Oh my God. I mean, David, I'm going to bring this question out to you. What do you think to Levy or Paratici? Obviously, maybe it's more Levy than Paratici. Who knows? It might even be Paratici. We might already be right that, you know, we already did a video kind of maybe questioning a bit of his resolve, a bit of his appointees. But, you know, I mean, whoever it is at this point, what do you think to them makes Gattuso better than Fonseca?
You know, the fact that he might drop Mikel Arteta on the sideline. He might run on and give Harry Winks a 619. You know, anytime he misplaces a pass, you know, he might fucking actually light moon boots on fire. You know, I genuinely don't know. Look, you know, I don't get it, right? So he sacked Mourinho because he was too hard on the players. You know, the players were crying, they were cuddling each other, consoling each other. Oh, Jose's being mean to me. You know what I mean? And now all of a sudden, you know, we've gone from Fonseca, the nice guy who's going to come in, cradle their bollocks, get them to run about. And now we're going to Gennaro Gattuso, right, who literally will just walk on a pitch and headbutt somebody. You know, he'd walk out in 21 days. But honestly, I'm now convinced it's all just to prolong it until the Euros is finished, bring in Roberto Martinez, and by then it's too late to act accordingly in the transfer market, and Levy wins because he saved dollars. Like I said, he'll go to the big boy table in the Premier League when they have their meetings and be like, lads, you're never going to believe it. Get your cocks out. Wank off. I've done it again. I've said 200 million this season. I've done it again. Honestly.
You wouldn't believe what I did today, guys. You wouldn't believe what I did today.
Honestly, get the cocks out, lads. Honestly, I've done it again. The greatest trick in the world is being pulled off, and I've done it bigger and better than last year. You know, I put out my little video. They're all lapping it up. You know, they're all giving the excuses again. You know, Dave and Marcelo come down to the idea of Fonseca. You know, their smile on their faces. That doesn't give me a hard on. So now I'm going to take Fonseca from them, and I'm going to put Gattuso in. You know, honestly, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. But he fucks me off. I can't take him any longer. I'm sorry. I can't. I can't. Look, we have 315 people watching. Make sure you have smashed like on the stream. Make sure you smash subscribe on the channel. And look, get those super chats and help support the channel. And let's share your views, share your opinions. That's what we want to hear right now.
David, honestly, that's David.
It's the truth.
David,
it's like the English tomorrow when they're playing the Scotch. Get the cocks out, lads. We're going to hammer these. You know what I mean?
David, it's the only thing you saying that is now the only thing that's going to give me solace about it. It's the only thing that's going to put a smile on my face about all this when I'm alone. It's just thinking that that Levy's just doing all of this just to get a laugh. He just walks into the, he walks into the, the dressing, or he walks into the board meeting just like, you wouldn't believe what I pulled onto the Spurs fans today. You wouldn't believe it. It turns out they like Fonseca. You believe that. It's just he literally is getting an absolute hard on out of all this, David. I actually
Rafa Benitez is probably doing the robot right now, thinking he's coming into Tottenham.
He's actually just coming up with some way to get a laugh out of all this. He's honestly at this point, David, he is an absolute sicko. And maybe what Marcelo was saying from the beginning is absolutely right. There's no explaining Levy, Marcelo. There's no explaining him at this point, except for maybe the only thing that explain it. Maybe this is the ultimate level of Marcelo. Maybe this is the ultimate level of Leviness. He might surpass this. He's surpassed every level that we thought he could. But maybe this is the ultimate level. The ultimate level is literally he just does this to gag us. He just does this to torture us. He just does this because he actually enjoys watching us suffer, Marcelo. Is there another level that he could get out of this? Is there another way that he could blow our minds?
Oh, Soulless Gamble. Honestly, that would be no. I'm not even laughing. That would be the line.
The final stage. Stage.
If he appoints Soulless Gamble in this football club, I will cease to stop supporting this football club. It would get to the point where we are such a giant joke that honestly, I couldn't even wear a Tottenham shirt. I would feel disgusted if that guy.
Marcel, my birthday is coming up. I know. I was thinking, usually on my birthday, I wear the Spurs kit. It used to be the old Musonda Bele kit. I used to wear it around. It was a nice little long sleeve, as a kid. And now today, I'm not even kidding. I won't even wear it. It's just too embarrassing. You don't want someone to gag me, make fun of me on my birthday. You don't want any altercations, especially I might even pull a swing on them. It's just at this point, I'm almost too embarrassed.
You know what's sad today, Jack, right? So there was this guy at co-work, and he's a co-worker. I just met him, and I figured out he actually watches football, right? Mm-hmm. And you know how embarrassing this is, right? This is getting this is the point where it really hurts being a Spurs fan. He asked me, what club do I support? And I said, I support Tottenham Hotspur with a groan, right? With a pain in it. And he laughed at me. And I'm like, hold on, what club do you support? And he said, Everton. Everton fans are taking the piss out of us. And they lost their fucking
manager. See solidarity. They're finding solidarity with us, Marcelo. They're finding
solidarity
solidarity with us. They think we're on the same boat. They think we're now on the same boat as them.
No, Jack, we're not on the same boat, bro. We're not on the same. Believe you me, those guys are probably gonna get someone better than we are. Believe you me, bro. We are not in the same boat as Everton. We have gone to the point. We're gone to the point, right, where it's coming to a point where Crystal Palace fans are gonna take the piss out of us. Crystal Palace fans, honestly, they're gonna get a better manager than we are. Crystal fucking Palace, bro. It's getting to a point where this is getting painful now. It's really starting to hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, David. And Marcel, I don't know. David, is there a final level to this? I feel like I thought to me this was the final level. Maybe Marcelo brought up that it was Sol Campbell, and maybe it's the final stage of all of this. But, is there any way we've been trying to explain Levy, for weeks, trying to get inside his head, trying to get inside that coconut of a head of his that's just absolutely hollow. Because to be honest, at this point, it really is. I do think he's only trying to get a gag out of us. But David, is there any part in you that think there may be another stage of this torture that could be worse?
Oh, yeah. There's always levels. He's sick, Coney. Just before I answer that, Aaron Dove, evening, lads. What I missed, just switch on now. Aaron, rewind 10 minutes, man. You want a gig of rewind 10 minutes. That's what I'd say to you. And then follow on from there, my man. Just basically just fucked off with Levy, the manager situation right now and stuff like that. But big up for the super chat, man. Really, really do appreciate it. A true legend, and you're really helping the cause of the Harris Army. Everybody else, feel free to get them in. Sorry, what was the question again, Jack?
No, I was just
why
going to
do we suck and why are we the worst club in the whole fucking world? That is the question.
No,
you know
David.
what I mean?
Is there another stage to this torture, David? Could it get any worse than this, David? Like, Marcelo is saying it could be Sol Campbell. Could it get any worse? Is there another level to this torture? To be honest, after this today, I really, every time I'm always like, could it even get any more ridiculous than this? Can he even get any
Scotty Parker's leaving Fulham. Scotty Parker's in negotiations to leave Fulham. He'll come in with Ryan Mason and Solus Campbell as assistant managers, and then we'll get Andros Townsend and a few boys back in to coach the squad, all purely because it's cheaper and it's cheap and it's job for the boys. Honestly, this is going to get worse. Listen to Daniel Levy's PR stunt the other day. He even sat there and said, "Oh, well, fans can criticize me, but they just don't get it. They don't understand." What do we not understand, you stupid cunt or you stupid fucker? We're a football club. We're a football club, man. Like, what does he not understand? Football first. Like, look, if I was sitting here watching the likes of Mbappe, Dybala, Haaland, or not even, just half-decent players teaming up with likes of Harry Kane and Son and that, right? I couldn't give a shit what hotel he wants to build. I couldn't give a shit, if Joe Lewis is sitting on his yacht getting tennis lessons. I couldn't give a fuck. I just want to see good football, man. I just want to see good football. We made the mistake last season of thinking it was the manager. We all realised it's not the manager, it's the fucking players. The players are shit. We can't keep control of the ball. And the reason why we leak so many goals and the reason why we sit back is because when you don't have the ball, that's what's going to happen. You fall deeper and deeper, right? So now, Daniel Levy has said, I know what would be a good idea. Let's drag out this manager appointment for as long as we can. That means I can save money on transfers. And then let's get in Gattuso. Let's have a little package with him. Give him an extra $100,000. Just walk away in 20 days. Oh shit, he's walked away. We have to get a new manager. There's only 2 weeks left in the transfer window. Oh, we're in a right pickle, aren't we, lads? Honestly, people say it's getting to the point, right? Violence isn't the answer, right? Not always, but why not just go on peaceful protest? Honestly, why not go on peaceful protest outside his house? Because that's the way I'm getting to right now, to get listened to, because he just doesn't get it. He comes out all the time with excuses. Oh, well, we're not where we want to be. All this sort of hope shit, Oh, Daniel Levy said we're not. Oh, Levy said he's not where he wants to be. That means we're going to spend billions this summer. It's a joke. He puts out all these little sound bites to look cool, stay hip with the kids, stay hip with the business boys. You know what I mean? And he just does no actions. Like, the thing is, one thing I learned in life from my parents is, words are only, there's no point in saying anything unless you're going to do actions. Action speaks louder than words. You know what I mean? So always lead by your actions. And Daniel Levy is it's getting to the point where it's unbearable. Like, how can you not get someone like Fonseca in and it's over money? It's over what everybody criticised you about. It's over what that interview was about the other day to try and put that notion to bed. It's the exact same thing, right? Alistair Gold is done with it. The man's trying to take a day off. The man's trying to have a holiday.
Yeah.
And all Daniel Levy keeps doing is putting news out there. You know what I mean? We've gone from Scotty Parker, Harry Potter, who else? Pochettino, Conte, Nuno Espirito Santo, Lopetegui, Fonseca, and now Gattuso. That's 10 managers. Real Madrid sacks
Jurgen Klinsmann, David. Jurgen Klinsmann is still, Jurgen Klinsmann.
Well, Jurgen Klinsmann's trying to put his name in the ring, and at this point, I would take him. When my old lad said it to me, I laughed at him. But at this point, the fact that he's trying to put his name in the ring, I'd give it to him because it's someone that genuinely wants to come in and try and make a difference off his own back.
No, but the thing is, David, we'll ask for that. We'll say, you know what? Look, it's so bad. Just give us someone that understands the club, that's been in the club, and, loves the club. And you know what Daniel Levy will be? It'll be like, perfect, I could sign Solus Campbell. He's been at the club, and you'll sign him. You know what I mean? There is no winning with this guy. There is no winning with this guy. And honestly, my question is, I have a question. How the fuck can anybody support Daniel Levy at this point? No, seriously, I want an answer from these people. If you're out there in the chat and you support Daniel Levy, please tell me now and tell me why you just hate yourself and you love depression. Just tell me why. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, how can you fucking back this guy anymore? Other than you love self-torture. You know, like, and it's just like, you know.
I mean, Marcel, at this point, I mean, David was bringing it up today. Like, even most of the Levy-inners, Levy fencers, you know, they're really running out of material. They're running out of evidence to even fall for the guy anymore.
Lad, he put more planning into getting the planning applications put in and approved for Levy, lad, than he has getting a fucking manager over the line. Honestly, we're sleepwalking at the wheel here. We need to wake up in numbers, in mass. We need to get down there. We need to stop the likes of the concerts going ahead. Stop Lady Gaga coming to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We need to stop the likes of fucking, you know, the NFL games coming to Tottenham. It's a joke. We're geared for everything else that makes Tottenham money rather than the football. And this is the problem. We need to start concentrating on the football. AKA bring in players. AKA bring in a manager. AKA bring in scouts. You know, paying the money to get them over the line. Concentrate on the football. I couldn't give a shit about everything off the pitch. It's not why I fell in love with Tottenham. I fell in love with Tottenham because of the club it was. It always had good footballers. Always played decent football. And now we're looking at moon boots hoofing the ball. Harry Winks being a little bitch and getting his pocket picked every time. Pulling out of tackles, running around, fangirling Jack's hair, sniffing it. Oh, is that L'Oreal? You know, what an idiot. You know, we need to get back to what made Tottenham great, was getting players on the ball who are exciting, players in the midfield who will get stuck in, you know, who can handle the ball. We need to get back to that.
Every day,
football club,
I would take Arsene Wenger. At this point, I would take Arsene Wenger. Imagine. Honestly, at least if Arsene Wenger comes, right, we can at least clown the Arsenal fans. Because we're like, look, we took your greatest manager. I would take Arsene Wenger at this point.
I think we should sign Højbjerg or Harry Kane. Maybe Harry Kane might be convinced to stay at the club if he can manage the club.
Harry Kane's gone.
You know, if maybe if he's told he can be a player manager, he's told he's a player manager, you know, he might be able to manage the team. Maybe Sonny as well. Maybe Sonny can be told he's a player manager, you know, he can run the club, bring in some friends as well, you know, bring in his dad, you know, to give them a big old spanking, you know, give them maybe some of the lessons that he was taught as a kid.
Jack.
Do you know what else pisses me off about this manager appointment, though? Right? Surely when you're looking at managers now, right? Now, Daniel Levy's told us we've lost 200 million, right? Which, may I add, the only reason why he says it's more than every other Premier League club is because we charge more. We charge more than every other Premier League club. So that's how that numbers is made up. You know, if every club charged more or less the same, it would all be the same. We only lost more because we charge more. We're the most expensive season ticket in the whole of Europe, right? But surely now, with what's going on, you protect your best assets on the pitch, aka Son, Kane, Hugo, even Toby, right? Højbjerg. And you get in a manager that's going to keep Kane here, that's going to keep Son here, that would try and get Hugo Lloris to sign a new contract. Surely that should be your aim of getting in this new manager. You know, surely that should be the sole aim. You get in someone that has the pull and will be able to speak to these guys and get them to stay, get them to pull the line, get them to start getting Tottenham back to being great again. But Daniel Levy wants to piss about with Barney the fucking dinosaur, you know, Bear in the Big Blue House and all these sort of guys. He's pissing about. It's like he sits there with a dartboard with a blindfold on, right? And just has pictures of the Big Show, Barney, you know, AC/DC, you know, Boris Johnson, you know, spins it and just sits there. Oh, okay, today, tell Alistair go, Boris Johnson be the new manager.
David,
we're a disaster.
David, it's gotten to a point right now, even if they say, you know what, look, we made a mistake with Gattuso, you know, let's get Fonseca, right? It's gotten to a point right now, or even Conte, right? It's gotten to a point where now if I'm Harry Kane and I'm looking at this clown fest, I'm like, you know what? No, like I'm done. Like this is a joke. Like honestly, if Kane stays, I will even start questioning whether he cares about his career or not. I would start questioning. Look, I would love him to stay, but I would literally be like, bro, like seriously, like
maybe Sonny as well, even with Sonny signing the new contract. Even with Sonny signing the contract.
And Kane, if they stay, after this circus, I'm like, listen, bro, like, I understand you love the club.
You're all there.
Yeah, like, I understand you love the club, but, you know, like, we won't hate you, right? We know we won't hate you. We hold no grudge against this. Like, I just want to make it clear, like, we don't hate you if you leave. Like, it's gotten to that point, bro. Like, honestly, Jack, Kane, the only time Kane is going to be playing at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is at the opening day for Man City when he scores a hat-trick against us. That's the only time he's going to be playing at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium ever again. He is absolutely done. He is gone. After this circus, there is no way a player like Kane, who has any ambition, stays at this fucking club. No way. No way, Jose.
Absolutely. We got a super chat, though, from Emily Dunn here. Good to see you, Emily Dunn. And she says, get those super chats in, folks. Support the Harris Army. You know, Emily, that's very kind of you. You know, we're just really ranting at this point. You know, we're just trying to get all the emotion out. Maybe trying to also crack in a couple jokes, getting a good laugh just to make ourselves feel a little better. Because at this point, we've received so many stab wounds from this club and from Levy that, you know, practically I've run out of air holes to even laugh through.
Just quickly on that. You know, big up Emily Dunn. Thanks so much. I really appreciate that. Just putting in the super chat to let others to get it in support the channel. I really appreciate that. We have 309 people watching right now. Make sure you do smash a like on the stream. It'd be nice to get 200 likes on this bad boy. You know, make sure you smash a subscribe on the channel. I want to get 4K on this bad boy. And why not get your super chat in, you know, to give us your opinions, your questions, whether you want anything to discuss. The chat is flying. It's hard to keep up. Honestly, I do try to get everybody's comment up, but it's hard to keep up. The chat is flying. Get your super chats in. We will discuss your opinions, your thoughts, and everything else. You know, the club is in the mires right now. It's a joke. And we have one more from Tom Orr. He says, the Tottenham Hotspur supporters trust are a joke, which they are 100%. They put out this little video, you know, and all they cared about was having the right colours and the right people in it. Honestly, you know, it was all about making sure, you know, it was politically correct, that video, rather than sending out a statement to Daniel Levy. It was an absolute joke. And he says, don't represent me or my views. They have sold us just like Levy. A serious protest needs to happen. Total boycott. Hashtag Levy out. No, 100%. I agree with you. Stop playing this Tottenham Hotspur Sports Trust. In a way, look, they do a good job in a way that they get, like, you know, disabled access for the disabled and stuff like that. Brilliant, right? But when it comes to bigger issues, stay away from them. They're not your people. You know, they're the sort of people where they can sort out seating issues in the ground and stuff like that. But not this sort of issue. If you're paying them and you're joining the Sports Hotspur Trust thinking they're going to do that, don't. That's not what they're there for. Trust me. You know, they're just another paid wing of Tottenham Hotspur. It's like the government. You know, every so often you see this new woke party start up, and it's just another arm of the government to appease the people that have got fed up with the old guard. You know what I mean? It's all a ruse. Trust me. Rob C with the super chat. He says Paratici will only select Italian managers. No knowledge of Premier League. Campos should have been our man. Levy is a complete. See you next Tuesday. Yeah, 100%. Paratici only select. Look, with Paratici, this is the thing. Like I said before, Paratici is the face of the club. He's there because the heat was so bad on Daniel Levy. He was burning his arse hair. You know, they moved him to be a shadow figure just like Joe Lewis. But he's still going to make decisions. Paratici is just paid to be another fall guy like Daniel Levy has been paid for the last 20 years, to be that guy. And this is what Paratici is now. You know, we all call for a person to come in and, you know, bring in players and get rid of players, not someone to select the manager. Like, the thing is, you select your manager, you bring in the director of football, you get them to work together. You know what I mean? You never give everything, like, you never give the full, complete thing over to the director of football. Never. And the reason why he's doing that is because he can pass the book if things do go wrong and he hasn't spent the money, the book is passed. Everyone will look at them first. He's a genius. Daniel Levy is a genius at magic tricks. He puts more money into trying to pull the wool over us fans' eyes than what he does on the football pitch, and that's a fact. Big up Rob's here. I really appreciate the super chat, my man. And Andrew Bailey, it's bamboozled me how Levy can charge 65 quid a ticket and turn around and say the club's got no money. Makes me ill. But great show, lads. And this is the thing. You know, even over the pandemic, you know, you'd think he'd be thinking about Spurs fans, and, you know, it's been a long time. Let's give them a half-price ticket or whatever, £20 a ticket, and let's get them in. Let's do this for the fans. What does he do? He charges double than what any other Premier League club, you know, across England charged. And, I threw in a mouldy burger that wasn't cooked properly with it. Absolute joke. And gone off beer because he was too tight to even throw out the kegs. He still had to try and get it out there, still had to try and get use out of it. He's an absolute donkey. The guy needs to wake up, and he can sit there and say, oh, fans can say this and fans can say that, right? He's been shown up. 2 days later after his interview, he's been shown up. He can sit there and say, the fans, get off my back. Oh, get off my back. I couldn't care. The reason why the fans are on your back, it's purely, but it's not actually the money. It's just the shit we're seeing on the football pitch. But when you look past that, it's because the money is not being thrown at it, right? We're not spending that extra 5-10 million in. We paid 30 million for Sissoko, right? And the ball bounces off him. You may as well put a concrete ball there. The ball, and just take it off. Honestly, right?
His foot is literally a fucking trampoline. Every time he touches the ball, you see boing, boing. You could put a fucking sound effect on him.
You have Sabitzer out there. You pass him the ball.
15 million.
He's going to bend around the ball. He's going to crest it, and the guy can score from outside the box. He can play a number of positions, and he's just an all-round solid footballer. He's very good on the ball. And he won't go and get him.
15 million. And you know why he won't go get him, David? Because Sabitzer is going to go in there and he's going to be like, well, I'm going to want 200 grand a week, obviously. And then they're going to be like, oh,
200 week to even breathe near that fucking club at this point.
And then he'll be like, no, sorry, mate. We only do, $1.50 and, some Burger Kings in the weekend. And then, and then they'll get somebody like Endom Fat Ass.
We'll put you up in a hostel in London. We'll put you up in a hostel in London. Yeah.
Honestly, they'd rather spend money on McDonald's for Endom Fat Ass than get someone in to pay him to help lose weight. They really would.
Save them a buck. I'm going to ask another question here, and it isn't kind of the recent thing with Gattuso and Fiorentina, and maybe I'll go to Marcelo first here if that's all right. But
people are sick of listening to me. They want Marcelo. Give it to them.
Gattuso left Fiorentina, Marcelo, because he wanted to sign players that were also represented by his agent, Jorge Mendes. It was a mutual agreement. Yeah. It was a mutual agreement between Fiorentina and Gattuso, for them to part ways. But it was according that he wanted to sign only players that were also represented by the same agent as his. What on earth do you make of this? And also the fact that supposedly, again, Paratici and Levy are huge fans of this guy.
I think Levy is honestly delusional as fuck.
But Paratici has reportedly always been a huge fan of this guy as well.
Listen.
Maybe they're the best of buddies. Maybe Paratici is actually just the Italian Levy, director of football.
No. The guy hasn't. Jack, the guy hasn't even landed in fucking London, and apparently he's already making all these decisions. No, yeah. I'm telling you, this is Levy 101.
Daniel Levy's over in the Bahamas getting massages with special endings.
Honestly, this could be. I don't know. It could be Solis Campbell running these things. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like Oz, and there's a big fucking curtain, and behind Daniel Levy's just some puppet, and it's Solis Campbell, running the whole show this whole entire time. Honestly, it's just like, and honestly, I'm starting to think. That's a great question. Where do we go? When not if, right? I'm sorry. Can you go to Marin Cranford's question? He asked, where do we go if Gattuso deal falls apart? Let me correct that
McDonald's
question.
With badass. That's where we go.
No. Let me fix that question. It's not if, it's when it goes wrong with Gattuso, right? When that falls apart, honestly, Brian might be right. It might be Dora the Explorer. We might get Dora the Explorer. Honestly, we might be having to go to Craigslist. You think I'm joking, David?
No, Barney and Baby Bop will be in. Barney and Baby Bop.
Oh, man. Like,
Hey, Arnold. Recess.
You know how much of a joke we are, David. And honestly, not like this is big up the fans, because honestly, I'm seeing a lot of fans uniting. It's gotten to a point where our fans, one Twitter account was able to ratio our main Twitter account. One fan Twitter account was able to ratio the club's Twitter account. They got more likes with the Gattuso out than they did with the tweet that they put out, which honestly is a very good sign. I honestly hope to God that this does not go through. I honestly hope to God Gattuso, it's just some smoke and mirrors, and Levy says, haha, it was contact the whole entire time. But you know what? That's me on Wonderland again. That's me dreaming, David. That's me dreaming. That's when you come in, you bitch slap me, you wake me up, and you're like, come on, come back to reality, buddy. Like, we support Tottenham Hotspur, and then you give me a big old hug and you say, you know what? It's okay, buddy. I'm here with you. It's just it's a joke. We are a fucking man. I'm so done with it.
And look, I made this point on Chris Cowler's channel earlier on, but Marcelo made this point before we came on as well. If this is Paratici, get him out the club.
Yeah,
get him out the club.
Goodbye.
Yeah, Fonseca, Gennaro Gattuso, get him out the club. Get him out the club. We are literally getting a manager who he's genuinely just a nutcase. Honestly, we will see. Do you know when there's Tottenham Hotspur released the training videos? We will see him walking around on the training pitch with Dyer in one headlock, Winks in the other, giving them both nuggies. Honestly, he's a lunatic. He's a lunatic. TK, he says, please give me some positivity. This is torture. We are a joke. Can't believe it. Please remind me why we support Spurs. I'm Chelsea born, going blue. Look.
Just go. No. Just go. Just go support Chelsea. Don't. You don't have to do this to yourself. David and I, we do it because you know what? We're too deep in. We're too deep in. If you can get out, just go support Chelsea. Go support Chelsea for the love of God. If you have it in your heart, right? I can never support another club. I just can't do it. It's not in me. I love Tottenham too much. But if you can, just do it, please. I beg you. Save yourself the pain, the misery, the hatred, the heart attacks. David is gonna have to take blood pressure pills. I'm losing my hair for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? Like, this club does not do well for your health. No. Just go support Chelsea. Honestly, I'm not even going to call you a plastic. Anybody who hops off the boat, you're not a plastic. You're just a person that, honestly, you just have self-care. You just enjoy your health. You just enjoy having a low blood pressure. You just don't want to die at age 30. Honestly, big up you. Go support Chelsea. Go support City. Go support something else, please. Thank you.
One thing I will say, TK, is look, stick with us, man. Just stick by us. 100%. I get where Marcelo's coming from. But look, we're Tottenham till I die. We're Tottenham till we die, no matter what. No matter what, we will get through this. We'll come out the other end eventually, and Levy will be gone. We'll have oil people in. We'll be sitting there watching Sheikh Mansour petting a tiger, in the stadium. Eventually, look, them times are going to come. Them times are going to come. It's just about sticking through it. We all need each other right now, and we all stick through it together. Look, I don't think I could forgive you, to be honest with you, TK, if you went to Chelsea. I really couldn't. I really couldn't forgive you. After Battle of the Bridge, they had that wanker John Terry. Honestly, I could. Please, TK, just stick with it. Just stick with the Harris Army, lad.
Go to City, mate.
And the Flat Cap Army. We'll get through it.
City. Trophies every week. Harry Kane is going down there. No stress. Life is good. Guaranteed trophies. Pep Guardiola. No clown fest. When you're linked with a player, it's almost a done deal already. There's no are we gonna get him? Are we not? Maybe there's $5 million extra. Then it's $5 million. They're asking for $5 million more.
Deal or no deal.
Yeah, honestly. And then when the team, they ask for $5 million more, the deal is off, right? Where in City, it's just like, oh, you want $35 million? Here you go. Here's 45. You know what I mean? Thank you. Honestly, just go
Marcelo,
to City.
Right? It's like to sit there playing Monopoly, lad, right? So, imagine Jose Mourinho sitting there, right? So they have all these players' names, bad players and world-class players, all put down where the houses are, right? And Joe says, right, I want Skriniar. He rolls a 4 and he lands, and then Levy's like, oh, unlucky, you got Roden. You know what I mean? Honestly, it's a joke. So look, Jose, Roden it is. This is what it seems like at Tottenham. They're playing board games at board level, and that's how they're picking everything. That's what it seems like. It really does.
That's so funny. Oh, you rolled Roden. Too bad. You rolled Roden for 15 mil, and the dice is weighted as well. The dice is weighted. David, he can't risk it, so the dice is weighted that Levy is rolling as well. That explains it. That's why, Grealish as well. They said, should we get Grealish for the extra $3 million? Should we sign Dybala for the $15 million, advertisement rights? Let's roll the dice here. Let's roll the dice from Levy. It's weighted. It rolls the other way. Oh, no, too bad. It's Steven Bergwijn.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. No, and, we're going to sell Harry Kane. Let's go and get in Haaland. Oh, no, shit, you're old Harriet, so we're going to get Harriet from Accrington. It's a joke. It's a joke. AV Troops with the super chat says, in his last interview, Levy's last word was, we have unfinished business getting Spurs relegated in his main business. Hashtag no to Gattuso is trending, by the way, in the UK. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. But look, AV Troops, 100%, unfinished business, a.k.a. I need to get Levy land built. And then what we'll do is Enoch will buy Levy land off Tottenham, and then we'll sell Tottenham. Honestly, we'll use Tottenham to build Levy land, and we'll buy Levy land off Tottenham, and then, honestly, it's a joke. Big up, Heavy Truths, for the super chat. Jordan Stevens, let me know if you're still planning on shitting on the bonnet of his Bentley. You seriously think Paratici, a guy who doesn't start his job until 1st of July, probably has signed the contract, isn't in the country, is doing all this work? No, I don't believe it, Jordan. This is the thing. Levy thinks we believe this. Levy thinks we're buying into this. And this is what I'm saying. He was put Paratici in there to do this. Anyone that's woke up to Levy and, has any sort of level sense of street intelligence can see through it.
Yeah.
Can see through it. 100%, Jordan. We haven't. We know what Levy's doing. Levy is pulling the strings. But, he's over there getting a massage with Joe Lewis beside him. You know what I mean? And it's like... let's just ring Ali Gold, put this out in the press today, get all the Spurs fans reporting on it. Even Ali Gold is getting fucked off. Fabrizio Romano is getting fucked off reporting on Tottenham. These guys just want a break. And, Daniel Levy does it to them every time. But Jordan, believe me, my man, we are well awake. And TK says, thanks, Marcelo. Supporting Spurs since 1994. Only joking. 100% Spurs. It's simple. Enoch out. Big up TK. Big up, you legend. Everybody else, you want Enoch out, put it in the comments. Enoch out. The only good thing I can say about after this is, I have a tub of Ben & Jerry's cookie or chocolate fudge brownie to delve into after this. I have Astro tomorrow. I wasn't going to tuck into it tonight. It's not good. But honestly, it's the only thing that's going to make me smile. I'll probably end up crying into the tub watching To Dare Is to Do the documentary all over again.
I have been on a diet, right, for the last couple of days, and then every time the shit, there's been a couple of times where I broke my diet. That is when we said that the Conte deal was off. I broke my diet. I ate a whole Ben & Jerry's, and then it was after we got Fonseca. We got linked with some Fonseca. I got depressed, and I ate a whole Ben & Jerry's, and it's gonna be today. After we get Gattuso, where I'm gonna eat a whole Ben & Jerry's.
Might need two, Marcelo. Might just need honestly, sometimes you finish one, right? You finish a whole Ben & Jerry's, and you're that depressed, you're that sad, you've already cried into it so much that you almost just need to open up another one, crack open another one, and just take a couple extra bites.
The only way
just to satisfy yourself.
It's the only way. Supporting this football club makes you want to just eat until your heart stops. It's just, oh man,
All right, this is the last question. This is gonna be the last question. For this whole fiasco, everybody in the chat. This is gonna be the last question for all of it. At this point, we've been trying to explain it all to death. We've been trying to get a laugh out of it, trying to explain it all to ourselves. But really, there's no point. There's really no point at this point. No, David isn't. But everybody, we're going to try to move on to the player ratings part 3. This is what it was going to be today, everybody. This is always going to be, we're going to crack into the players. We're going to, give good player assessments. We're going to finish the player ratings.
But
no.
The one positive part. What did we say, Jack?
We thought it was going to be a nice, relaxing day, Marcelo. We thought it was going to be a nice, relaxing stream.
We said part 3 was going to be our probably most positive player rating stream, and somehow Tottenham made it toxic. This was supposed to be a positive, laid-back stream. We're going to actually talk about some decent players, and somehow it has become absolutely toxic. Thank you, Daniel Levy. Thank you.
No, Marcelo, I thought it was going to be today. I was talking to David, maybe what I even had played today, is going to be nice, relaxing, talk about the good players. And I was thinking we might even, if we had time, we might even crack into, the defense again, give them a round 2, because honestly, 2.5 hours might not have been enough on them, I was saying to David. And so, we might give them a round 2, but no, Levy, he won't let us enjoy ourselves, won't let us have a good day, won't even let us have a day off at this point, Marcelo.
It's pathetic, right? When I was looking at the group chat, and I saw someone, post a tweet about Fabrizio when he tweeted out that we're in for Gattuso, advanced talks. The next, it's bad when the next comment in the group chat is, you know what, lads, Brentford doesn't sound too bad right now. know that is bad. When people, it's bad, right? When Spurs fans are looking at Brian and they're like, yo, that Graham Potter man, he plays some nice footy. It's bad. It's bad when we look at a guy who took Southampton from 10th to 15th, and we're like, yo, he plays some proper football there. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, I want a little bit of that. It's gotten that bad when we're looking at these mediocre managers. And we're like, oh, man, you know what I mean? Like we have been deprived of good football for so long. We have been deprived of, care for so long. It's incredible.
Yeah. No, it's just even bringing back that names, even just going back to the times when fan base were, going around with Expelliarmus goals, XG, Harry Potter, let's bring him in because of this. And it's like, okay, creates all the chances. He has about 5 strikers work with. No one can put the ball in the net. Maybe it's a striker issue. People going on like he got them into Europa League, or he got them in the top half of the table. He barely bet relegation. You know what I mean? And honestly, we one thing we can't do is go back to them times. Honestly, we can't. Mark with the super chat says, Levy's long-term plan is to play the Championship playoff final. He heard that is the richest game of football. Wouldn't surprise me, Mark. 100%. That's super chat of the day, my man. That's super chat of the day. What a legend. That's brilliant.
That's hilarious. It's all in the process. It's all in the process, Marcel.
What a legend. What a legend. Big up, Mark. What a legend.
That is not comment of the day. That is comment of the fucking week, bro. Holy shit.
Oh, what a legend. What a legend. At least you brought some joy to this panel, my man. Big up, Mark. AV Troops, question for all 3 of you. If somebody can arrange one-on-one with Levy in one single room with you 3 separately, what are you going to do to him? Look, I'm going to tease him a little. So I'm going to get him into a bit of light crow, a bit of a gimp mask on it, ball gag, something that he's going to like, that sort of thing. And then I'm just going to bring him and put him in the middle of Tottenham Hotspur Stadium when it's full and make a show of him. Make a show of him. I'm going to get us all to start throwing fake money at him and everything, and just make a show of him. Honestly, I would love to, the way they do platform like TikTok versus YouTube boxing now. Put fan versus owner boxing. Put me in versus Levy. I will absolutely Mike Tyson the living shit out of him. You know what I mean? Just duck a couple, let him think he's getting there, and then just come up with the uppercut straight under the chin. And then hopefully when I do knock him out, he's sitting there and he just gets this flashbacks of all the money he hasn't spent, wakes up a new man, starts spending money.
David, no, David, you're delusional. You know what he'd be thinking? You'd be looking and you'd be like, how many pay-per-views did we sell? You know what I mean? That's what you would be doing. You'd be looking at that, and then you'd be looking at the pay-per-views. Oh man. No, honestly, if I saw listen, Daniel Levy is the only man that makes me want to think of murderous acts, and just seeing him makes me want to it's not even like I want to, it's just an instinct, you know what I mean? It's like when you see a rat and you want to kick it. Like when I see Daniel Levy, I just want to just lunge at him, you know what I mean? Honestly, I would probably just lose my shit, and I'll probably just lunge at him and try to choke him out or something, and then security will have to take me out and kick me out, and I'll probably go to jail or something. Honestly,
I know what you mean, Marcel.
He's the sort of guy, right? If he was, do you know the way you have cyclists on the road? He's the sort of guy, if you were driving by, you just push him into the hedge. You really would. You know what I mean? And drive off. You really would. Or put a stick between his spokes. You know what I mean? Honestly. He's just a moron. The guy
he's the kind of guy you knock a coffee out of his hand. He's walking with the big business suit, into his big skyscraper, job. He's the kind of guy, he's walking down Fifth Avenue in Manhattan. You just give a nice shoulder to him, and you watch the coffee just spill right over all of his blouse and his big white T-shirt and his tie, and then you just walk right past him, and you dip into the subway, and he hasn't seen you ever again. He's the type of guy you do that to, absolutely.
We take the super chat from Aglaya as well. Ben and Jerry's are getting a tune out of Levy's fiasco, and they will have record sales. And if Gattuso gets the job, then sales will go sky high. Aglaya, look, we need to double up on the Ben and Jerry's today. We really have to double up on the Ben and Jerry's. It's look, I've got chocolate fudge brownie there. Might tuck into a bit of cookie though. Just all depends. I need to balance out my mood right now. Tottenham are a joke. We're a joke. We are a joke. Everybody around world football is laughing at us right now. Even people that didn't even care about us before are just sitting there laughing at us. All season long, we were laughing at Arsenal. They're sitting there putting in bids for players and stuff like that, and now they're laughing at us. It's turned just like that over a couple of weeks. This Levy fiasco, it's a joke, Aglaya. Like I said, I'd wish you get in your convertible, put on your sunglasses, go and pick them up and drive them the fuck out of Tottenham. And, of course, record sales, of course. And Gattuso gets the job. Yeah, look, if Gattuso gets the job, it'd be all pictures of him holding Michael or Joe Jordan like that all around, trying to model the new jersey. Honestly, he'll turn anything into a business exercise, he would. But big up, Aglaya. I really appreciate the super chat. Jack, you said you had one more question?
Yeah, last question. This is the last question, and everything with Fonseca and everything, Levy. And it's going to start with Marcelo again, work myself away to David. With Marcelo here. He's a good guy. Marcelo, what do you make of Levy's, kind of recent Serie A kind of Italian fetish? He's going after directors of football that are Italian. He's seemingly all the managers he's going after from the Serie A and Italian. What do you make of this new fetish of Mr. Levy?
Honestly, I think he, Hitchin, all that time he spent in Italy must have rubbed off on Hitchin, because honestly, either that or, he's been getting into some kinky Italian shit. And, he thought maybe, let's put that into football because, why not? I don't get it. I don't understand it. It's almost like,
maybe the special endings massages are coming, in the Bahamas he's getting. Maybe it's from an Italian masseur or something.
Yeah, no, like I said, something kinky is happening because that's the only time this sadistic fuck gets any this is the only time he ever gets a hard on. It's when he knows that he got us by the balls, and it's just man, like honestly, just hide the whole Italian national team at this point. Like it's ridiculous. Like what is going on really? Like is there no other league? Did the Bundesliga cease to exist? Like what happened to the? Well, hold on a second. What happened to the homegrown quota? What happened to the homegrown quota? Seriously?
Hold on, Marcelo, this is the biggest trick in history. We loan players out to create that problem. We loan out our homegrown players and create that problem.
No, but David, what happened to the homegrown quota, right? January, we couldn't buy any players because of homegrown quota, right? Now, we're looking to buy all of Italy. Like, what is this? Tottenham, hold on a second. Last time I remember, Tottenham was in London, not in fucking, Sicily, man. Oh, my God.
Yeah, so David, same question to you. What do you make of maybe, I'm thinking maybe Levy's grown a bit of an Italian fetish here. Maybe he's had a bit too many wine and dines, in the Italian restaurants of London or Rome or Sicily. Or maybe he's getting, a couple tuggies from the Italian masseur that he has in the Bahamas. What do you make of his new fetish of the Italians?
Yeah, look, I want to know what went on with Milan week when Hitchin went out, because Hitchin's now off the scene as well. The two of them are going to shadowy figures. I wonder what went on out at Milan week. Who knows? But no, look, they've probably tried lasagna for the first time and they're in awe. You know what I mean? So, look, let's go and get Locatelli, or let's go and get, Baresi, or whatever all these players' stupid names are. Let's go and get an Italian manager. Let's go and fill the hotel that we're bidding. Let's fill that fridge with Italian wine. Let's open Mr. Italiano's in the stadium. Honestly, it's probably a ruse, because with an Italian restaurant, you might be able to charge a bit more money. So he probably wants to get the whole Italian feel around the club. Charge. So, when people are coming to Tottenham, they can go stay in the hotel, drink the Italian wine in the fridge, come down to Mr. Italiano's in the ground. You know what I mean? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what the problem is, but he needs to wake up. Look, I'm just really concerned where this club is going right now. But look, some people can call me negative, whatever. I'm just concerned where this club is going. I'm deeply, deeply concerned. I want to be positive. I want every reason to be positive. I want every reason to be sitting here, to be praising Levy, to be praising Tottenham, to be praising Winks and stuff like that. I want every reason to. But they don't give it to me. I'm not one of these people. I'm not going to make excuses for them. I'm a realist. If it's shit, it's shit. That's it. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, look, at the end of the day, you know, life is ruthless. Any other job, if you're shit and you don't perform, you're sacked. At Tottenham Hotspur, you can guarantee you're going to get another contract, right? And the fans are going to make all the excuses for you in the world. Honestly, it's only at Tottenham this happens. You get someone that goes and works in a pizza factory. They fuck up on their job, they're gone. That's it. You know, imagine me going into work and saying, "Oh, Dave, you know, you're not moving today. What's wrong?" Gaffer, you know, look, I'm just not arsed today. You know, but we pay you to be here, David. You know, we pay you to work. Yeah, I know, but I'm just having an off day. Leave me alone. You know, they'd call me into the office and say, "Look, go home. You're sacked." You know, at Tottenham Hotspur, it's like, "Oh, your washing machine broke. Oh, that affected you." Right, well, look, what we'll do is we're going to give you a 200 grand a week contract. We'll get you a new Whirlpool washing machine. We'll fit it for you. And look, you know, take 2 weeks off, get your mental health right, and come back and train. You know, it's a joke. It's a joke. There's no accountability from top to bottom. And this is why you see what the players getting away with, what to do on the pitch, is because accountability and ruthlessness has to come from the very, very top down. And it doesn't. And that's why you see the shit we see on the pitch. Because the players don't train because they won't do any extra fitness because they're not told to, even though 200 grand a week would probably, you know, maybe that might make them up. Maybe, you know, maybe I might do a bit extra, might motivate me. No, not these guys. You know, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. You're shit, you get a new contract. You're a good backup player. We settle for second best at Tottenham. We settle for shit. You know, you're a good backup player. You don't complain. You sit there and take the wages. Of course he's not going to complain and they're going to sit there and take the wages. Of course they are, because if not, they're going to be playing with a team that's bouncing up and down between the Championship and the Premier League.
They're going to have to play football, David. They're going to have to play football, David. They're going to have to learn to play football. They are. And now we're at a point where the players dictate the dressing room because there's too many of these guys that have too much money to lose right now and don't want to leave Tottenham because they know it's only going to get worse and the wages are going to get smaller. Their living's going to get worse. They actually, the likes of Harry Winks, will actually have to fight for a wage. Imagine that. He would actually have to fight for a wage and he has no fight in him. You know, and this is the problem at Tottenham. There's just no accountability at all. We get rewarded for being shit. We have to stop. We have to change the culture of this club.
Daniel Levy is the highest paid chairman in the Premier League, David. The highest, you would think, if you were paid that much, you would have won a Premier League, right? No. He is the highest paid chairman, and yet he has won the least trophies out of top six club. We're not top. Hold on a second. Forget top six club, right? Let's stop this. Let's stop the shenanigans now, right? We're not a top six club anymore. We haven't been under Enoch. Let's be real now, right? Let's be honest. We're not a top six club anymore. Under this bald fraud, we are at best a mid-table club. You know, we had that time under Poch. We had that time under Redknapp, right? Even then, we didn't even win any trophies. But we had that time, right, where we were getting there. We were getting back to being a top six club. We have yet to be a top six club ever under these fucks, under these frauds, right? Get them out. That's the only way. Listen, I don't want to hear to any other solution. I don't want to hear, you know, hashtag Enoch reform. I don't want to hear.
Nice to these people. That's
no. They take the piss out of us every fucking week. All right. I'm done with it. I'm done being Mr. Nice Guy. You know what? If it has to come to the point where we have to go up to Levy's face, call him, you know, the C word, call him a prick, call him, you know, an asshole, you know, like, honestly, just give the guy abuse, because you know what? He gives us abuse every fucking week.
Yeah,
Marcelo, every fucking week. it honestly, and it's like, and people are going to say, oh, Marcelo, no, you're taking too far. No. He has taken this too fucking far, bro. He has taken this too fucking far. Got fucking Tuso, bro. We're becoming a fucking joke. Everton fans are making fun of us. Fucking Brentford fans are making fun of us, bro. Yeah. We're comparing ourselves to fucking Brighton, bro. He has gone too far. He has gone too fucking far. He has raised the tickets prices. He tried to sell this fucking football club for money. He tried that whole Super League, investment. He was the guy that lied to us about Conte so he can sell fucking season tickets again, so he can renew them. He's a guy that has the audacity to charge people 60 fucking pounds. He has fucking gone too far. I haven't even gone to fucking enough, bro. This guy hasn't received fucking enough, man. He should be getting fucking abused, this fucking prick. Like anybody who sees him, anybody who fucking sees him should just give it to him. Give him fucking straight, because he gives it to us every fucking season for 20 fucking years, David. 20 fucking years. And he tells us to be fucking patient. Are you taking the piss?
No, we should be grateful, Don Marcelo. We have that. We have the worst trophy in England to lift. We should be grateful. We have one League Cup. Let's all praise Daniel Levy. Soon it must be coming up to the 20-year anniversary. We'll surely be getting an open top bus and parading it through again, because it's the only trophy we're lifting while they're here. Honestly, it's a joke. Tom R says, strip Levy, stark bollock, and drag him up the Tottenham high road, scraping his balls off the tarmac, force him to part with his cash.
Yeah, like they did in the old cowboy days. Like they did in the cowboy days, get a horse, get a rope, tie it to his leg, ride him around town, take him through the village. It really is at this point. He's practically like a corrupt sheriff or like a corrupt mayor or something at this point. Yeah. The people just have to revolt. They just got to tie him up to Aglaya's, convertible, just drag him around town, put him on show practically.
100%. I hear Marmite says, when's the next protest? Big up the Harris Army. And the next protest, I think, is the NFL games, as far as I'm aware, or whatever concert is first. That's when the next protest is. I'll find out and I'll let everybody know for the next stream. I hear Marmite. And big up Spurs Squad. If that's just a donation, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If not, just put the comment in the chat. I'll get it up, my man. And everybody else, make sure you get your super chats in. Look, with your questions, thoughts, whether you agree, disagree, what manager you want in next, what you think went wrong, what you think's going wrong with the club right now. Make sure you do smash a like on the stream as well, and a subscribe on the channel if you're new. We want to get to 4K. We're on not even 3,100. So look, at least let's get to 3,100 tonight. And look, make sure you do smash the like on the channel. And big up Spurs Squad. I really appreciate that. What a legend. Marcelo, I know you're hungry, man. Do you want to do the player ratings, or do you want to go off and I'll do the chat?
No. Fuck it. We keep going, lad. We keep going.
Legend, what a legend.
Honestly, it's up to you, Marcelo. I won't be offended.
No. Let's keep going. Let's get the player ratings. I promised them the player ratings. I'll give them a player ratings. I'm a man of my own word. But honestly, like absolute. Just fuck that prick. Honestly, just I'm so. I honestly, I just want to shut my mouth and stop talking about Enoch, because I don't want to say anything I'm gonna regret. But man, like just go fuck your mother, Levy. Honestly, seriously, like I hate that you were born.
Joke's on you, Marcel. He probably does. At this point, Marcel, it's joke's on you. He probably does. And but. We're going to be moving on. Anybody that's joining kind of late, please rewind. There's so many good bits there, of us ranting about what's happened today. But we are going to, now eventually just move on to what we've been trying to finish. It was supposed to be a nice, relaxing, enjoying stream. We're going to have Marcelo with us, crack into the players, maybe just have a good old day, maybe even crack a beer today while we're doing it. But, no, Levy's not going to let us do it. So if anybody's that's still wondering about, what we had to say about Fonseca or anything, or Gattuso, please, just rewind back. We're moving into the player ratings now, something we've been meaning to finish for a while. Erik Lamela, everybody, look, giving him a 4.5 here. To be honest, he's had incredible moments this season. He honestly works for the badge when he does come on, but in a lot of moments, he is absolutely useless. He can't finish for his life. He pretty much doesn't even know what a right foot is. I don't even know if he even knows how to say it in Spanish. it's really, really appalling. I think how, he really, I would say, even actually hasn't exactly even improved, I would say, in his career. Like I felt like even in the beginning, obviously got injured all the time, but I feel like the moments in the beginning of his career, I actually liked him a bit more. And now I just feel like he hasn't improved at all. He really can't even get the ball off the ground when he shoots it. Maybe the only thing that he's been very good at this season is maybe in the possession category over here, where he's been very good at actually carrying the ball. We do know that about Lamela. When he does have space, he's good at pushing it forward. He's good at taking a pass to player and pushing the ball forward. But he's usually pretty awful at actually playing the right pass, right? He only plays one key pass a game for his position, which is pretty terrible. He doesn't really place any crosses in. And yeah, I mean, guys, Erik Lamela also down over here. He's only attempted a pass only once with his right. 4.5 for Erik Lamela, guys.
Chris B sums it up here. 4.5 is generous. Haven't played well since his dog died 6 years ago.
I didn't see it.
Lamela owns a pink poodle. That's quality. For me, look, to be honest, you have to, in a way, you have to admire the guy's passion, right? You got to give it to him. You got to admire his passion, his work rate. His work rate. But honestly, yes, Will. Someone did say Lamela. Will, look at this comment here. You're going to love this. Christopher B. What a legend. What a legend. But no, look, with Lamela, right, you got to love his passion, you got to love his work rate and his energy. But, come on, man. Right, the guy is so one-footed, right, he does this breakaway and then he just fucks it up. He can't pass properly. The only thing he's good for is a Rabona. Literally, for his Rabona against Arsenal, I'm going to be generous and I'm going to give him a 4 just because of that, just because it's against Arsenal. But the rest of the season, look, suppose in a way he got Martial sent off against United, contributed to the 6-1, so that'll add to his 4 mark. But look, at least he tried when he came on the pitches, which what I can't say for other players. At least he tried.
Yeah.
But
and you know what? He never took
not good enough.
And you know what? He never took one thing about Lamela, right? And I will say this to his defense, and I know Will is probably watching this and hating on us, but one thing about Lamela, he has never taken the piss out of the club. He really has not. It's like you said,
look,
David.
It's not his fault to keep handling contracts.
Look, yeah, exactly. It's not his fault that Daniel Levy keeps renewing his contract. And you know what? Every time he's gone out there, right, he's actually given a shit. He's actually tried. He's actually like, when we lose, you can genuinely see he gets upset. He doesn't like when we lose. He actually gives it his all. He cares about, even when with a few goals that he did care for us, you see there's passion in him. You see there's passion in his eyes. So, I got to give him a 3 for the Rabona goal and the fact that he doesn't take the piss out of the club. There's really rarely any controversy around him where, he does this and he says, fuck the club. He always gives it his best. So, he's just not good enough. He's not good enough. He's just 3.
Yeah. All right, 3 from Marcelo.
He's just not good enough. And like I was saying there, look, it's not his fault Tottenham keep handing him contracts. It's not his fault. But at the end of the day, yeah, he has to go. I still say he has to go. But compared to and this is genuinely saying stuff, because compared to other players, we're giving him a rating based on just doing the basic, which is work ethic. You know what I mean? So that's a lot for our season.
Yeah.
You're rating them at their job, David. You're rating them at their job practically. It's a career evaluation. And most of them, as we've seen from especially, part 1, if anybody who hasn't seen the player ratings, definitely good at part 1. Not a good career assessments there. But moving on to Steven Bergwijn. 5!
That's generous, man. That's very generous.
It's very generous.
I'm sorry, Jack.
Honestly, when you finish this one, hand this to Marcelo.
Marcelo. I'm just gonna go into this. I made this, forever ago, Marcelo. Haven't changed it. I haven't changed it since.
Marcelo's beating up his pillows right now, because of you.
I haven't changed it since, Marcelo. Just so you can react this way, just for the content. But look, Marcel, I'm just going to say the only reason I've given it 5 is just because recently, some people recently, they've been convinced by Dele Marley, that he's supposed to be playing well, that he's looking really good under his new kind of chance. I think actually Steven Bergwijn is the one that's actually looked pretty quality given his new chance. He's the only one recently that I thought has actually been fighting for the badge of the last recent games of the last season. I think played really well in the beginning of the season. Obviously, he absolutely blundered it and maybe in a way even cost our season with that miss against Liverpool. But I'm just going to give him a second chance. I think there's still a player in there. I think he is definitely worth at least fights for the badge plenty more than other players. And I do rate him at least better of a player than Lamela. So I am giving him a 5, Marcelo. But crack into it, brother.
Jack, honestly, lad, you want do you want to give me a heart attack? Do you want me to die at age 24, man? Come on now, 5. The guy scored 1 fucking goal.
Compared to Lamela, what is it? Lamela's a 3. Where does Steven lie? Is he lie lower? Or is he lie above? Go into it.
But after that Liverpool game, you couldn't even find him in a milk carton, bro. And then he showed up against that Villa game, and granted, it was a brilliant goal, but 1 goal, and the guy goes missing the whole entire season, and you want to give him 5. You want to know a fact? After that Liverpool game, he did not post a single Tottenham post until Jose Mourinho got sacked. Until Jose Mourinho got sacked. As soon as Jose Mourinho got sacked, he posted. Yeah, go look at the day. The day Jose Mourinho got sacked, that's when he posted about Tottenham. All of his other posts after that Liverpool game were all about the Netherlands and his, and his kids and stuff like that. Which I mean, good for him. But not a single Tottenham post. This guy missed a fucking goal, by the way. That was his fucking fault. A fucking sitter that a player of his wages should be putting away, right? He mentally breaks down. Okay, fair enough. Nobody should receive abuse. Nobody should receive racial abuse. It's horrible, right? But for fuck's sakes, lads, what world are we living on? Where you received a little bit of abuse, just give up, hide away, close the curtains down and give up. No, come on now. You move on. Let's be real here, right? You move on. Look, do what he did. Block the people, block the chat. I'm all for that, right? I block, bro. On Twitter, I have probably 8,000 people blocked. You know what I mean? You're annoying me. I just block you. I don't care. But it doesn't excuse for a horrendous and pathetic season he has had. The guy, he fucked up 1 game, mentally broke down, and he went missing. Honestly, Steven, the guy has been Stevie Wonder the whole entire season. You could put the ball in the goal right in front of him, and he will miss it. No, for me, he gets a 1. He gets an absolute 1.
Interesting, Marcel. Lower than Lamela there, David. He gives him a 1.
Look, honestly, Lamela's done more than him this season. It's the truth. Yeah. It's the fact of the matter. Look, we bought this guy in for 30 million. He scored a goal against City, and of course, we all lost it. Bergwijn, Stevie B, woo. You know what I mean? I'm sick of it, right? What did he do? He went out against Liverpool and he missed 2 sitters when we needed him to score them the most, right? Okay, like Marcelo said, what happened after that should never happen. It's inexcusable. You don't do it. You know what I mean? You never do it. It's wrong. But for fuck's sake, okay, take a week, whatever. But grab your fucking cojones and come back out and prove people wrong. Now, we've gone into a society now where people cry and they're allowed to cry for too long. Whatever happened to the good old fashioned, you get knocked down, dust yourself, pick yourself back up again, and go again and prove all the doubt was wrong. Yeah. You man up. Just man up. He is
legitimately a loser. That is a loser. Yeah, that is a loser. Arnold 101, a loser is someone that gets knocked down and stays down. That is a loser. A winner gets up, and I want winners at my club. I don't care. Call me harsh. I'm sorry, call me harsh. But you know what? Guess what, David? I'm also a minority too, man. I've been through that, and it sucks. The world is a dark and it can be a very mean place. But you know what? It doesn't give you the chance to give up, because guess what? You're still receiving a lot of wages. You still have people that care about you. What happened to the fans that back you, bro? You know what I mean? How about you play for them? People like to focus on the negatives too much. How about you focus, instead of proving the people who gave you abuse right that you just are a shit player and you don't belong in the club, how about you actually prove them wrong and you prove your supporters right? You know what I mean? I was this guy's supporter. You remember this, David. I was like, no, give CVB a chance. He's just going through a bad time. He's going through a bad period. I was saying, give this guy a chance. And the guy gave up, bro. Gave up on himself.
Yeah.
When you give up on yourself, I'm sorry, you don't have the mentality to be a winner. And
exactly.
You can beat down, right? Every player, Harry Kane, Son, every amazing player, even R9, even CR7 has had moments where they are down. Messi is going through it right now, but they never give up on themselves. Never gives up on themselves.
Good point there, Marcelo. Really good point. That is actually very convincing. Absolutely. I think we can move on to Lucas Moura here.
I just want to give my rating for him. I'm going to give him. I'm literally just giving him a 1. Honestly, look, he was anonymous for half the season. There's no way I can really give the guy a rating. He came in. He had other games he tried, but I'm sick of triers. I just want doers. Like Marcelo said, look, we need to start getting the right mentalities in here, because unfortunately, as much as awareness and everything else there is out there about the sort of health and your mental health state and stuff like that. But unfortunately, people that can pick themselves up, dust themselves down and just go again and can fix it themselves and stuff like that, they're winners. They're people that go out and win things. You know what I mean? And this is what we need to get back to. Like, at the end of the day, football's ruthless. The fans that support football, they're ruthless. You know what I mean? And now the players need to start acting ruthless. They need to start acting ruthless. The problem is they can't think for themselves now. They're all way too overcoached. They're all waiting to be told what to do. Some of them, like Stevie B, you use your pace, use your strength, get on the ball, beat a couple of lads and put one in the net. Do what Gascoigne used to do. Do what Huddle used to do. Be a fucking man. Grab your bollocks. That's all we're asking for. Look, unfortunately, I do think he's going to be here for another season. Lamela will probably be out the door before him and that, so he will stick around for next season. But I'll give him one more season. But that's all I'm going to give him. I'm not going to go into this trap where next season we give him another excuse, and the season after, I'm giving him one more season to prove he's right. If not, take the loss and sell him. I'm sick of getting this culture at Tottenham where, okay, it hasn't worked out, but he's a good squad player. Let's hand him a new contract. Bollocks. Sell them.
Yeah, absolutely, David. Absolutely. I feel that way with a lot of the players. I feel that way with Tanguy, Gio, pretty much mostly everyone. And pretty much they all really get one more season, really, to prove us wrong or prove us right, really. Absolutely agree. Moving on to Lucas Moura here. Look, Lucas Moura, he finished with 3 goals, 4 assists in the Premier League, 4 goals and 1 assist in the Europa League. He played 40 games this season in total. He played, kind of the number 10, played off the right, played off the left. He's obviously been a real servant to this club. He really, at least in the number 10 position, I really never rated him in the passing department. He really ranks quite low there. But in the possession department, he's actually been quite stellar. I think he's been really good this season, honestly, in terms of just being able to cause havoc, come into the game, beat a couple players off the dribble, take a player on, play a ball in behind when need be, if he can play correctly, or even win a ball high up the pitch and the opposing attacking third. I think Lucas Moura, maybe speaking of, what we were saying with Steven Bergwijn, I think Lucas Moura has actually always been someone that does believe in himself and does actually back himself to do well. He's done well under every manager. He did well under Jose. He did well under Poch. Did well under pretty much everyone. Of course, he's not the best player in our lineup, but I think when it comes to Lucas Moura, he's the one who definitely deserves his pay every week. He's been a true professional, I feel like, this season, especially when everyone else has been pretty much the opposite of professional. Lucas Moura, I think he's just been a model for this club, especially this season. Maybe it's shown more than others that he is a true model human being. What do you think, guys? I give him a 7.
Look, for me, with Lucas Moura, what I want to say is he's one of the players that actually tried. He actually put effort in, and for me, he's probably one of the shining lights of the season. Look, for me, I definitely think he's better through the middle. I wouldn't be playing him on the wing anymore. One thing with Harry Kane, if you want to play a high press, put him in that number 10. He can press alongside Kane. We got results off it. We've seen that against Palace. With Kane, he's not the fastest anymore. Maybe some of his injuries have slowed him down a bit. Lucas Moura is the perfect guy to press with him. Dele Alli's not, because Dele Alli's lazy. When you put Lucas Moura in there, it adds a new dimension to the press. And for me, he's been one of the shining lights. He's carried himself throughout the season. He can have his head held high. Look, sometimes, he's fit. You can question his final ball, his end product. Okay, I get it. But look, again, and I know it's sad, but he tried. He could have given up on Tottenham after not playing in the Champions League final. He didn't. He could have given up when he wasn't really a massive part of the season after that. But he come back this season, he's put in a role and he does it. No matter who the manager, he will try his best. An ultimate professional, and that's all you can ask for right now. So for me, I'm actually going to give him a 6. I think he had a good campaign overall.
I'm going to go with Jackie. I'm going to go with 7. I think his dribbling was superb this season. I think, the fact that he was able to play a lot of roles. I mean, I think at one point he even played a, right wing back. He's really almost like the perfect squad player. He's not the best player around, but if you need him for a role, he will do it. And, he'll do it. He'll do it. He won't complain. And you know what? He'll try his best, and sometimes he will do it even really well. I thought he was our best attacking midfielder. I thought he was having a lot of success in that attacking midfield.
Most consistent.
And I think the reason why he doesn't get an 8 for me is because of his final end product. It's really poor. It could be doing more, but at least he does the basic. It could be improved, but at least he does the basic. He tracks, he presses, he helps the defense. He looks for the ball. He takes men on, he looks to make, he at least goes for the final third pass, unlike Wanks, who, just passes sideways and releases himself of any responsibility whatsoever. At least Lucas Moura, people don't understand the reason why Lucas Moura looks sometimes a worse passer than Wanks. It's because Lucas Moura actually tries to make a threatening pass, and when you make a threatening pass, it's more likely to be blocked. Yeah, it's always more likely to be blocked than a sideways pass. So at least every time Lucas Moura is on the pitch, we look more dangerous. It's just facts. And, he was also the only guy to show up in that Carabao Cup. The only player to show up in that final. He was the only person up for it. And, in my opinion, if you can't show up to a final, that's a big knock on you. And you know what? He showed up at that final. He's the only one. Him and Lloris could be the only one to hold his head high. For me, 7.
Yeah. No, look, do you know what? I'm actually going to hold my rating to a 7, to be fair. And like you said, the only one that turned up in the Carabao Cup final, I will give him a 7. I couldn't believe he was hauled off. I don't know what Mason was thinking. They just have a problem with this guy in the final, playing finals. Don't know what it is. And what's the story said he's going to give him that is his player of the season outside of Harry Kane. So that's, look, a lot of people are praising Lucas Moura, so which is good. But look, let's crack on with the next one.
Crack on the next one. Yeah, I think with Lucas Moura, I think it's probably one of his best seasons. You can maybe argue, just in terms of being an absolute professional for this club, and maybe being one of the best players when pretty much no one else was really sticking up for the club or really lifting their heads high and really putting fighting for the fans. At least I think Lucas has been the most consistent. Gareth Bale, kind of similar here, at least in player rating, but maybe for
sorry, Jack. Just quickly, Spurs squad put in a super chat, and this is what he was meant to say.
Yeah.
Lucas has bite in a nothing season for THFC. He has energy which we lack from our squad. 100% Spurs squad.
Yeah,
big yourself up.
Absolutely.
Everybody, get your super chats in. Show support for the channel with your comments, with your opinions, and with your ratings or anything else that's going on. I do have a bit of news. Apparently, it is looking like Gattuso is a done deal. So just to let everybody know.
So was Fonseca. Fonseca. So
yeah, that's true. But apparently this one is done. But look, we'll wait and see. We'll wait until we roll out bed tomorrow. Look, we'll crack on with Gareth Bale.
Yeah, absolutely. Gareth Bale, look, I also gave him a 7, similar to Lucas, but it's maybe almost for the opposite reasons. Look, Gareth Bale did not really rate his attitude, did not really rate how he maybe even treated the club or the fans this season. But then when it came to the quality, came to maybe moments when we did need a goal, when we did just need to roll over a certain bad team or whatever it may have been, and just simply just his output. You just look at his output, and yeah, he deserves at least a 7 just from his output alone. Look, he's only played 20 games. He played less than 1,000 minutes this season. And we looked at a lot of players in this player ratings who had played less than 1,000 minutes who were absolutely atrocious. And that was why they played less than 1,000 minutes. But with Gareth Bale, he's played less than 1,000 and he scored 11 goals and 2 assists. In Europa League, 3 goals and 2 assists in 10 games as well. I think he's just been absolutely brilliant this season. Still obviously has plenty of quality. Even statistically, look, there's a lot of green there. He's been absolutely brilliant. He's been best. I think even this season in the Premier League, he's been the best player this season in the Premier League in terms of getting by a player off of the dribble and putting a shot on goal. That's such a ridiculous stat, such a valuable stat. I think it's even over here, the SCA dribble. He does it 0.78 times per match, where he's able to complete a successful dribble past a player, past a defender, and put a shot directly on goal, on target. It's a very valuable stat. It's been pretty much unbelievable this season. He's had plenty of dribbles completed, even per game. Completes 2.84 dribbles per 90, attempts 4.89. He's very successful even with them. He's actually much higher success rate than most of the players on our team. He's really just been absolutely brilliant. I give him a 7. Marcelo, what are your thoughts on Gareth?
I'll give him an 8. I think he's been fantastic as a player. He has been fantastic since he's been on. Obviously, he didn't do it in some of the big games, but let's be real here. If you look at it, he didn't get a lot of minutes in the big games. The only big game that he had a lot of time with was Arsenal and Leicester, and he did really well in Leicester. So I felt like he wasn't given a fair crack in the big games. He came out and had a second time at home against Leicester. He played 10 minutes against Liverpool. So I felt like he wasn't given a fair shot. I think this was actually one of Mourinho's biggest blunder. David and I said it. Look, it's all well and good if you have a right winger that can, track back and do that stuff. David said all season, but you need a right winger that can score goals. And I felt like that's where Mourinho really got wrong with Stevie Bergwijn. I think he just loves Stevie for his defensive work, but he overlooked the goals. And you know what, Gareth Bale, whether you can say it was against the small clubs or not, they're goals and they fucking count and they win you games. Whether you like it or not. Harry Kane hasn't scored that many goals against the top 6, believe it or not, this year. But you know what? He scores consistently, and that's what you need. You need a guy that scores consistently. It's just, and for me, Bale gets an 8. The only reason he doesn't get a 9, because I would have given him a 9, is because of the things that he said about the club. How he came out in the media. That really down for me. That kind of ticked me off. Especially for me because I love the guy. He's one of my favorite Spurs players of all time. It's the reason why I started supporting the club. I still love the guy, but that ticked me off.
Yep. Well said. Well said.
Just to come in off the back of that, in a way, I actually probably think it was smart management by Jose Mourinho, because in a way, right, he preferred Lamela and Bergwijn for the bigger games where we're not going to have a lot of the ball for them to do track and back. Because in a way, what is the point of having Gareth Bale there? Because you can't get the ball to him. With Gareth Bale, you get the ball to him in the dangerous positions. He's going to score your goals. And that's why he probably played him against a lot of the smaller teams, because he knew we're going to be able to get him on the ball in the right positions. The thing is, you don't bring in Gareth Bale to track back. You bring him in for his output. You bring him in for that moment of magic that he creates. That's what you bring him in for, right? And the thing is, in the big games where you're not going to have so much of the ball, probably right, take him out, because there's no point of having him on the pitch or a man down. At least if you put in Bergwijn, you'd be able to run back and track back and try and win you the ball back. But the problem is at Tottenham is, look, me regardless, I would be bringing Gareth Bale back. It's going to cost you 15 million in wages over the year, right? You're not going to get another winger in for 15 million that's going to get you 11 goals and how many assists. Not going to happen. But not only that, it's the fear factor. He takes a player. One player has to specifically mark him. So it's the fear factor that you're bringing in as well. We were crying out all season for that right winger. And when Gareth Bale came in, he had to get fit. He got fit. Near the end of the season, he started producing the goods. Look, for me, over the years, especially over Pochettino, you could argue that maybe some of the small teams we struggled to break down. Gareth Bale can do that with just one trick and a shot. He's the best in the world at it. You give him the ball over on the right-hand side, he gets in on the left, you give him a whiff to goal, he's taking it. And for me, I'm actually going to give him a 7. Look, I get it, a lot of stuff in the media pissed me off, stuff like that, and I have been critical of him over the season. But at the same time, when you're thinking with your manager's hat on, you're thinking with a player's hat. We seen what happened against Arsenal, right? We couldn't get on the ball. We couldn't get Gareth Bale the ball. It made him look shit. And the thing is, the rest of the players made him look shit, because he's like Harry Kane, like Son. They're world-class players. You need to be able to get them on the ball in the right spaces. So, look, at least with Son, he'll track back. Gareth Bale, he's a galactic guy. He's won Champions Leagues. You know, he's dragged Wales to a semi-final of a Euros, little Wales, right? Honestly, there's no reason for him to track back. He doesn't have to. It's simple as that. He just doesn't have to. And he's right. He's right. Why would he when he possesses that much quality? And for me, you have to bring him back. And I would give him a 7. I think when he did play, he was superb. Minus the Arsenal game, maybe another 1 or 2 here or there. I think other games, you know, especially against Sheffield United, he ripped it up. For me, I'm actually going to give him a 7 because it's one of the little joys we had going forward towards the end of the season when things fell apart.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a super chat, though, here, David, from Chris Peters here. Big yourself up, Chris Peters. He says, Bale would have been more of an asset if Mourinho played him more. Look at him for Wales. Look, I think that was kind of what Marcelo was touching on there earlier there, Chris, and absolutely. And even what David said, Chris, I think is absolutely spot on, where like Marcelo is almost, or Marcelo, yeah, similar to Bale, but Bale is too good to even track back. He's too good to track back, too world-class to track back. You actually should almost accommodate for him more in plenty of games than maybe accommodate for the other team. You want to find the ways to find Gareth Bale and use him the best. So absolutely agree. And I think just a donation here from Spurs Squad. Very generous.
Here it is here. Get it up. He says, quality stream from the lads today. Well done, David and Marcelo and Jack. Big yourself up. I really appreciate it.
Very generous of you, Spurs.
We have one more here from I Hate Marmite. He says, guys, please look up AVB squad compared to now. Yeah, no, I will. I'll have a look at it. I think, it's better than what we have now. I can tell you that now. But look, Jacko, take it away. Next player.
Yeah, absolutely, David.
10. Thank you. 10. Thank you.
Sonny here. Moving on to Son Heung-min. Premier League, 37 games played. He's played a lot of games this season. 17 goals, 10 assists. Europa League, 7 games, 3 goals, 1 assist. I gave him a 9 simply because I would have gave him a 10 based off of the stats alone. But I did look over into the possession stats here, and this is kind of what maybe something I did notice this season. I think he's been an absolutely lethal striker for us this season. I think he's been unbelievable in front of net. He's been unbelievable at being able to get him behind, being able to be on the latter end of Kane's balls and behind, and just be basically our second striker, the one that we depend on. But if you look over here in possession for players in his position, just players in his position in the Premier League, he has been, I think, this season maybe quite awful. But then again, you could also look at it as where a lot of teams have just basically bullied us, where they know that Sonny and Kane are our best players, and they know that we want to get it to them. And Sonny has practically most of the season I've seen him, he's been triple teamed, double teamed, lots of pressure on the ball, doesn't even get a moment to, look up and turn. So maybe that could explain it. But, the only reason I lowered him down to a 9 is just simply because his passing and his possession stats here have been pretty awful, I would say, this season. And passing as well. He's not really played the right balls, not really played the right passing there, but has somehow ended up with 10 assists. And I think that's just simply because he's such a big moment player. He knows how to get in behind, knows how to cut inside, knows how to take on the players, and knows how to be able to put the ball in the net, knows how to be able to create the chances. And that maybe that's Marcelo is saying. That's all that matters. The underlying stats, it doesn't matter as long as he finishes with 17 goals and 10 assists. That's all you can ask from a player. If not, it's practically ridiculous. So I gone with a 9, maybe just because of the underlying stats and everything. But maybe that's a little harsh. Maybe that's one of my harsher ratings. But yeah, Marcelo.
I'll let David take this one. I'll be the last one to have a say on Sonaldo.
All right. And I'm going to be the last one on Kane because Son is his favourite, Kane's my favourite. Look, just for Marcelo to stew on, look, it's a mixed reaction here in the chat. A lot of people are saying, yeah, great season. And a lot of people are saying he only had half a season. My father here, Marcelo, he's saying Sonny 7, go for half the season. So maybe you can just get an answer together there. But look, for me, with Son, I think he's had a good campaign. Look, I know he petered out towards the end and stuff like that, right? But here's the thing, right? And another thing I noticed, there was another period before that. A lot of people saying he was being poor, but he was still contributing with assists. Now, if you're not scoring, at least assists. And assists is just as good as a goal. Yep. So if you're not scoring, at least assists, or at least still try and create stuff, still be positive. And he was. It's not like he gave up. He was still trying to take people on, still trying to put balls in the box, still trying to shoot. And look, to be honest with you, some of the shit probably rubbed off on him towards the end. You know, but look, for me, overall, I think he had a great campaign. That goal against Arsenal will forever be in my mind. What a goal. You know, he's turned in some great performances this season. You know, okay, maybe a little bit disappointing in the cup final. You know, the crying after. Look, okay, you know, you can say, yeah, look, it meant that much to him, but as well, you know, I don't like seeing that. You know, just win it and then cry. You know, with joy. That kind of, you know, that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, look, he's one of our better players. He's an ultimate professional. We relied on him heavily this season. Heavily. Really heavily. You know, and I think he missed fuck all games. I think he missed like only 2 games or something like that. You know, so look, for me, and with the amount of games we've played and how much we've relied on him, I'm going to give him an A. I'm going to give him an A. I think that's a fair rating. Look, you know, it kind of did wind me up a little bit near the end. That kind of did peter off a little. But look, every player has patches like that. Every player has patches like that. But look, I'm going to give him an A. I think he, again, one of the shining lights of the season for me. One of the players that genuinely does care, shows the passion for the badge, gets pissed off when we're losing. We've seen that in the documentaries, fighting with Hugo Lloris and stuff like that. For me, he genuinely cares about this club. Yeah, and I'm going to give him an A. Marcelo?
He gets a 10, bro. And let me correct you, Jack. It is not Heung-min's son. It is Ronaldo, bro. He is... Listen, this guy has scored 22 goals and has 17 assists. The only other winger to have more goals than that is Mo Salah. That is the only other winger. All right? Let's be real here now. This guy is in a shit team with no pace, and he has no other right winger to back him up. Ronaldo has had to play about 5 different positions. 5 different positions, man. 5 different positions. And you know what? He has most of our goals against the top 6 sides. He holds most of our goals against the top 6 sides. So he's been our best big game player. I'm telling you, bro, he is 10 out of 10, man. You cannot tell me. Even okay, yes, he's had some poor moments. But even in those moments, he has contributed. He has gotten an assist and a goal. The most games he has gone without a goal and assist is 3. Come on now, man. What do you expect from the guy? You want the guy to, you know, score a goal and get an assist every week? Not even Harry Kane can do that. Nobody can do that unless you're Messi and Ronaldo. Messi or Ronaldo. Nobody else can do that, man. So Ronaldo Nazario gets a 10. Every game, he gives it his all. He is the utmost professional, rarely gets injured. He plays almost every minute. The man has played 50 games this season. 50 games. And you know what? Every single one of those games, can you tell me where once Sonny did not run, where once Sonny did not try to make a proper counterattack, not once where Sonny, you know, tried to make something look threatening? Yes, okay, sometimes his touches is not the best. Sometimes, you know, his passes is not the best. But that is because he is trying to get us to win. He is trying to get that pass that's going to win us the game. He's trying to get that ball that's going to give it to Kane to win us the game. And like I said, David, when you try to go for those balls, they're more likely to be blocked. You know, they're more likely to be blocked. And you know what? When you put yourself in positions where, you know, you're dangerous, you're most likely to be blocked. Because you want to know why? Teams figured this out. All they needed to do was block Harry Kane and Sonny. You know, you put 2 men on Sonny, you put 2 men on Harry Kane. Nobody else is going to score. Yeah. You know,
quickly. No, sorry, go on, Marcelo. Go on.
Look, honestly, for me, Sonny, absolutely underrated. He gets a 10 this season. No way is he an 8. David, you have to at least give him a 9. I will not accept anything else.
I'll give him a 9.
For me, he is a 10. 22 goals, 17 assists. That is amazing. Amazing from a winger.
I'll give him a 9. Rob says here, when I said about him dragging them to a Euros there in the last Euros, dragged them to a semi. 3 goals in the group stage, which none of them were winners. So I'm sorry, you know, any player scoring 3 goals in the group stage for Wales must not be good enough anymore, Rob. You know, if that's not helping drag them through a group stage, I don't know what is. You know, honestly, honestly, I like you, Rob, but that's ridiculous. You know, to say that none of them are winners. If he didn't score the goals, Wales wouldn't have got the results. So blessed in the round of 16 with an own goal. Did nothing in the semi-final either. Was anonymous in the semi-final as well. Ramsey was Wales' hero. Yeah, there's no doubt in the Ramsey had a good competition. But so did Bale. You know, so did Bale. Honestly, you're saying here he didn't help drag them there. Wales had no hopes getting out of the group. He scored 3 goals to help him get out of the group. So I fully disagree with you there. And the semi-final, look, everyone has one bad game. Everyone has a bad game. But he certainly helped drag them there, especially going forward. So, Rob, completely disagree with you, lad. Completely disagree with you.
But Paul Markey here with the super chat. And Paul, big yourself up for the super chat. Very generous of you. And he says, can't see Sonny sign the new contract with what has happened today. And definitely if Gattuso is appointed, maybe go to Marcelo. Maybe you can answer quickly here for Paul.
No, look, Sonny, please just if you have any dignity, any self-respect, just go to another club. I won't hate you, lad. I won't hold any resentment. As long as it's not Arsenal or Chelsea, you're cool with me, buddy. Just go win some trophies, go live a happy life. Nobody will hold a grudge against you. I love you, buddy, and good luck.
No, look, I get what Marcelo's saying, but no, we need to keep hold of our best assets. We have to try and keep hold of them. But honestly, I feel the same as you, Marcelo. We have to try and keep hold of them. And Rob, the reason why we don't have a manager is because we're a circus right now. We run the circus. Daniel Levy is the ringmaster. Me, Marcelo, and Jack, we're the caged up animals waiting to come out and perform for him. Honestly, that's why we don't have a manager, because we're fucking Tottenham Hotspur. Oh, look, let's move on.
Harry Kane, guys. 35 goals, 23 goals, 14 assists in the Premier League. He had the most goals and most assists in the Premier League. He's basically been the best.
Sorry, can you repeat that again, Jack?
23 goals, 14 assists in the Premier League. He had the most goals and the most assists in the Premier League. Maybe I did this earlier, or maybe that's not right, David, but with Harry Kane, look, he's been the best player in the Premier League this season by far. It's been better than the De Bruyne's. Been better than anyone this season.
How can he not win Player of the Season?
It's been better than. It's rigged.
Because they want him to try and force a move to City, so that then they will give him Player of the Season.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly actually what it is. He's better than Bruno Fernandes this season. It's been better than anyone by far. It's no contest. I don't have to go into the stats. I don't even have to go into the stats. It's been absolutely unbelievable this season. I gave him a 9.5. I gave Sonny a 9. With Kane, maybe I should have gave him a 10. Maybe that's the one thing I would say is just give him a 10. Maybe give him a 10 this season. That's the only thing I can say.
Look, listen, 10, just like his number shirt, baby. Harry Kane, I'm not going to hype him too much because I know David is already going to do it for me. But listen, he is Tottenham's best player. He is Mr. Tottenham. He is Tottenham itself. He's one of our own. Love the guy. Shows up week in, week after week. He gives it his all. He scores goals. I mean, the guy just scores goals for fun. His passing, it's beautiful. His goals are beautiful. He's even beautiful. His hair is beautiful. That's why we have a hair prediction for him. Given to you by your own, David Harris. He's just fantastic. He's a 10 out of 10 if there's ever a 10 in place. It's just he is the epitome of what a striker should be like, a fox in a box, a creator, a guy who can score from outside the goal. I mean, the audacity of Arsenal fans to even compare that carpet, like an Aubameyang, it's just an absolute ridiculous comment I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. Harry Kane is the best striker in the world. He's one of the best players in the world. The fact that he is number 30 in the FIFA ranking list just goes to show how rigged it is. He is at least top 10, one of the best players in the world. He is amazing. He's awesome. He makes me proud. Him and Sonny and Højbjerg are about the few things that makes me proud in supporting this club and wearing the shirt, because I get to say, you know what? I have one of the best strikers in my club. I have one of the best wingers in my club. I have one of the best DMs in my club. I mean? Like I can say that with pride, and I actually believe that. Call me delusional. I actually believe that. And I listen, love Harry Kane. 10.
Harry Kane, king of the lane, best number 10 in world football. This is what we're talking about. Best hair in world football. If Winks and that and Dele Alli, instead of running around asking Jack Grealish for hair tips, just go to your captain, to your leader, Harry Kane. You know what I mean? This is the only guy you have to go to. Joe Hart came in, tried to take that off Kane. Harry Kane even upped his hair game. But not only did he up his hair game as soon as Joe Hart came in, He upped his footballing ability. He turned into a De Bruyne and a Harry Kane, mashed into one. You know, he was the epitome. He started attacks and finished attacks this season. Best player in the Premier League, without a shadow of a doubt, playing in such a shit team, right? The guy, he can score from outside the box. He can beat a player. You know, he can pass a ball just as good as De Bruyne. Not only that, he can hold up a ball. He can play with his back facing the goal. He can go and win headers. You know, and honestly, without him, everything going forward this season was around Harry Kane. It was around Harry Kane. Even a lot of the Son's run was making, Son was making off him behind and all. That all stemmed with Harry Kane being the decoy, put the ball into Kane. Kane keeps dropping deep. Every once in a while, release Son in behind. Worked an absolute dream for us, especially against Southampton and that. And for me, honestly, look, my only problem with Kane is I probably would like him to be more vocal on the pitch. You know, I would like him to see him bollocking players. I really would. I'd love to see that come out of him, especially this season if he's forced to stay. I'd love to see that come out of him. Bollocking players around him, getting them up to standard, getting them up to scratch, and dragging them through some games. But this guy is the complete footballer. He is a complete footballer. But not only that, we have to praise him for some of his defensive duties this season.
Yeah,
back at corner kicks, getting the headers out, you know, being there, blocking stuff in the box, on the line and stuff like that. And not only that, Marcelo said he's the best striker, but I'm going to go one better. He's the ultimate pro. He's the ultimate pro.
Yep.
Any former Spurs players I've listened to doing podcasts and telling their story and stuff, a lot of them all say, and even Tim Sherwood, ex-manager and that, who gave him his chance, all say he used to stay behind after practice and just practice shooting and practicing his technique. He's the hardest working player there was. And, you know, it's paid off for him. It's paid off for him. And for me, look, I am going to give him a 10. I'm going to give him a 10. I think he deserves the 10. You know, look, at the end of the day, it's a team game. You're only as good as your team. But without him, it could have been a hell of a lot worse this season. I'd hate to see how much worse it would have got. So for me, I think it's only fair to give him a 10. He's a leading example of what you need to do at this football club. You know, train hard, week in, week out, back any manager that comes in, play to his philosophy, believe in them, give them a chance. You know, he loves the supporters. At the end of the season, do you know that round of applause we were supposed to get when they all got bet by Villa and they ran into the dressing room crying, "Oh, Mason, please don't send me out there. They're gonna bully me. They're gonna boo me." Right? Well, the reason why they got booed at halftime and full time is because they were shit, and then they walked off the pitch sulking. Guess who didn't? Harry fucking Class A Kane. He walked around with a glint of a tear in his eye, walking around applauding the supporters. And not only that, when he went back into the dressing room, he came back out with the rest of the spineless weak squad and done another round of applause. Yep. And, you know, and he was still in his kit. He was still in his kit. The rest of them were in tracksuits. You know, they've had their shower, they've blow-dried their hair, hair-sprayed it to look good in the car on the way home, so they could put the shades on, thinking they're fucking in, you know, Mission Impossible, drive home to the missus. You know what I mean? It's this guy, honestly, he's the ultimate professional. We lose him at Tottenham, we lose the professional standards at Tottenham. It's that simple because he sets them. He's that player in the dressing room that sets them professional standards. Once he goes, you're going to have to try and get another player that's going to do that. Okay, you have Højbjerg there, stuff like that, but you need someone that's world class, that leads the team week in, week out to be able to set them standards. And for me, that's Harry Kane. You know, he's made sounds, he's done interviews and all. He's pissed off at the players around him. He's made it known in subtle ways. You know what I mean? And fair play to him. Fair play to him. And it's about time. You know, he done that interview with Gary Neville to try and force Levy's hand as well. So fair play to the guy. In that respect, he does have a bit of bollocks. The only negative is I just would like to see him calling out players more on the pitch. I really would. Forget all this lovey-dovey, we're buddies. You know what I mean? Fuck it. How are they your buddies if they're letting you week in, week out? Yourself, your son, you know, you're going up there, you're banging in the goals, and then you look back and you realise you got fucking moon boots, or you're Mr. Anonymous. You know what I mean? And so, you know, what's the point? What's the point in them scoring the goals they do, working their bollocks off to skin 2-3 players? Skinning 2-3 players isn't easy, right? Especially in the Premier League. You know, when everyone's at your fitness level, you know, you're coming up against big men who are probably a bit stronger than you, especially in Son's case. So it's not easy to skin 2-3 players at that level, you know, but they do it. And then they're let down by the defence week in, week out. And for me, to be able to keep that professionalism and keep the motivation to keep going. But like Son, You know, Harry Kane had a poor game in the cup final. He had a poor game after that. You know what I mean? So, like that, he had a bit of a patch. But for me, I would give him a 10. I think he deserves it.
Absolutely, David. I think it's an absolute 10 from Harry. I think perfect season, perfect player, perfect person. Avi Troops with a super chat here, though. Says, first time seeing Spurs fans together, a serious backlash is going on. Surely Levy can't appoint this manager right now. Levy digging his own grave at this point. Yeah, Avi, he is digging his own grave. We honestly were talking about it. You probably were seeing it, Avi. He is deluded. You know, we are thinking that there absolutely is nothing there at this point. He's only just trying to get a gag out of the fans. There's nothing to even convince us anymore with Levy. There's no use in even explaining him anymore. We try to put ourselves in his shoes, put ourselves in his delusional brain. That won't even work anymore.
Yeah. 100%. And big up, Heavy Troops. Really appreciate the super chat. Look, guys, you know, keep getting your super chats in, keep supporting the channel. Big yourselves up. And Tom R, thanks for tuning in tonight, my man. And I'll see you again on the next one, lad. Big yourself up. Jack, is that the end, or have you got any more?
That's the end there, lads. That's the end there, lads.
Well, look,
I gotta go eat.
Yeah.
I'm starving, so I'm gonna go. Peace out.
Marcelo.
Big yourself up, Marcelo. Thanks very much for your time this evening, my man. I really appreciate it.
Come on. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for
and just quickly, actually, before you go, right? A lot of people have been asking me where you are, have we fallen out? Just set the record straight, and please just let them know you're working.
Lads, I work about 50 to sometimes even 80 hours a week. All right? You don't see me often in any other YouTube channel, maybe at Will's. And that's the only time I go to Will's, you know, because I love Will. And two, it's also, you know, at 10 p.m. So, you know, I'm at home and I'm laying in bed. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, like, there's a time difference. We live in a different country. You know, 5 p.m. here is like, you know, what is it? 10 p.m. for you, David. So, you know, at 5 p.m. I'm still working. You know, so it's just not, you know, we have to find times where, you know, this is supposed to be my day off. Listen, if David and I have fallen off, I wouldn't be here on my day off after working 50 hours. Trust me. All right. I love David. You know, this is the only channel I would give my day off to. You know, this, you know, Matty Hayes, you know, the boys, the guys I've started with, you know, like, this is the only channel I'll do it. I love this guy. Nothing has fallen apart. We're, you know, and, you know, listen, it's just time. It's just work. You know, it's just life.
Yeah. Yep.
That's it. There you are. You have it from the horse's mouth, because I've been telling them, Marcelo, everyone's been asking me. I've been telling them, they haven't believed me. So you have it from the horse's mouth. And Marcelo, the outlad's calling you the Brazilian beast.
Oh, come on. You're the beast. All right. I have to go. I do have to eat.
Enjoy your food, man.
I'm starving. All right.
Enjoy your food. Lads, you know, there we have it. We finally got through all the player ratings, 3 streams later, you know, but look, it's the sort of season we've had. I want to say a massive thank you to Marcelo for giving up his time. Jack, have you anything to add before we end off, my man?
No. This is honestly, I mean, everybody, I might even one day just look back at part 1 and part 2. This is absolutely, I think, the best player ratings you could honestly find in the Tottenham community. There is no channel that could talk about Musa Sissoko, Harry Stinks, Moon Boots, GPS for more than 2 hours. The fact that we had to go defense, midfield, attack, just because, you know, we've been watching these guys. I was talking to David today. We've been watching these guys for practically 9 months of our lives. Might as well crack into them for at least, you know, a couple of hours, if not more. You know, it's the most we deserve. You know, they've already been wasting basically our whole 9 months of our lives. Might as well go into it, you know, dig into them, give us our honest opinion, you know, don't give them some lazy rating, you know, really dig into them. And honestly, right, there's no better player ratings video I honestly think you could find this season than here at the Irish Hotspur.
No, brilliant, Jack. And look, thank you, Spurs Squad, for the super chat again, my man. Really do appreciate it. What an absolute legend. Look, you know, you have another 2 minutes to throw in the super chat to show your appreciation. If you have any questions, or even if you just want to support the channel or show your appreciation for the streams and that. Look, I want to say a massive thank you to you, Jack, for the time you've put into the player ratings, the effort you've put into it, and sticking with us for 3 shows. You know, you're an absolute gent. Like I keep telling you, you've elevated this show to a new level.
Thanks,
with the standard of your questions, the standard of your content, and you're absolutely phenomenal. And thank you for coming in on the player ratings and, you know, guiding myself and Marcelo through it, lad. And you know, being the mediator, the moderator, which we need sometimes. So personal thank you to you. And we honestly, you know, a lot of people are starting to say, you know, especially on me Tottenham TV the other day, you know, the best duo since me and Marcelo and stuff like that. And, you know, look, me and Jack, we have plenty more coming, everybody. Aaron Dove with the super chat, he says, bye Marcelo, a point on me, big yourself up, Aaron Dove. Really do appreciate it, my man. What an absolute legend. And dedication, even though it's depressing. Yeah, 100%, Alex. 100% it is. And my old lad says you're a smooth operator, Jack.
Cheers.
Which
That's the best compliment I can get.
And he was enjoying you. He was enjoying you filling in for me when we were camping. He had it on in the background. You know, he was enjoying you, Brian Daigle, and Bobby as well. Absolute legend.
Very
but
nice.
Look, Aaron Dove, thank you so much. Appreciate the super chat, man. What an absolute legend. Look, to you, the Harris Army. Again, absolutely incredible. You know, all the views, the likes on the channel, the super chats. These are all absolutely incredible. I hope every single one of you stay safe. No stream tomorrow, guys. We'll be back Saturday with a fan show. We're going to do a fan show for you guys. Let's just come on. Let you vent this, that, and the other, whatever you want to get off your chest. Saturday night. What am I doing Saturday night? What? No. Saturday night. Oh, yeah. Then I have a watch along on We Are Tottenham TV, I believe it is. And then Sunday night, you know, I know it's Father's Day. I'm going over to my sister's with my father and that. I know my father already said to my sister, you know, he's not staying too long because he wants to get back for the football. So I'll be back by 9:30 at night, and we're going to sit here and we're going to do another stream. We've got the Irish Hotspur review with Jack and Nicky and Bobby and Danny that we're supposed to bring Wednesday. We put off. We're going to bring to you Sunday now instead. So you're going to get a double dose next week, Sunday and next Wednesday. Harris Army, honestly, these are all incredible. Make sure you do smash that like on the stream. Anyone new, make sure you smash the subscribe. Like I said before, no need for anyone to be feeling down, lonely, anything like that. The links for my social media, my email address, it's all in below. Feel free to message me. You know, I will get back to you. I'll always check in on you, make sure you're okay. A lot of Harris Army can already contest to that. The link for Jack and Marcelo's social media is in the description below as well. You know, so feel free to follow them on Twitter and stuff like that. The Harris Army, this journey has been incredible right from October to now. And look, we're going to go for another season. And we're going to push even harder, and we're going to be even better with even better content. Look, until Saturday, make sure you stay safe, look after yourself. Enjoy the game tomorrow, the friendly game between England and Scotland. As we know, it's already coming home. You know, the Barmy Army is going to be out in force. They're going to be losing limbs, throwing points up in the air, everything else. So make sure you enjoy that friendly. You know, Southgate, you're the one and all that sort of crack. Make sure you enjoy the friendly tomorrow because it's already coming home. Harris Army, peace out. Love you. Stay safe. Come on, you Spurs. No matter how shit it is right now, love the club, hate the owner, but never lose support for Tottenham Hotspur. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Levy out.